There's only so much Nerf bat you can hit with.
I feel like yay! Hello, I am Kasey, and we are on Captain Reboot, and we are playing Tyranny of Dragons. And we are getting towards the end of our campaign here, as a band of heroes have made it all the way up from being orphans in a town attacked by dragons, fought their way through innumerable battles, dealing with foes of unimaginable power, and overcoming each in turn. The party has recently dealt with a large blue dragon, a trio of dark dragons, and a social encounter on a gambling vessel, the Grand Dame, where they met with the lords of the land, representatives of Waterdeep, Baldur's Gate, and other members of the Lord's Alliance, as well as a quintet is the number for 5, the Council of Dragons, where they impressed one of each of the colors of dragons and got a few phone numbers from a certain one of them. But there is more to be done. Storms rage off the Sword Coast, preventing many of the forces that have been recruited from reaching the coast and able to move inland to fight against the cult. The party has been voluntold to go deal with this threat. Several storm giants whipping the oceans into a frenzy. The owner of the Grand Dame has offered his vessel to escort the party across the water. It is a rowing vessel, however, it is powered by clay golems, tireless, able to endure and put on great bursts of speed when necessary to force its way through the storm where no sailing ship could manage. The party has had a few days preparation time, both in port, in the city of Baldergate. I forget which one they were actually in, but they had access to a city resources. And Waterdeep, they were in Waterdeep. And now they've had a day or two aboard the ship to get ready for the encounter. They know that the giants are meeting with the cultists on a small rocky island. It is in the eye of the storm. And the intent is to deal with these giants and make it so that the storms abate and the armies can move forward. I'm going to turn it over to the party to let me know what sort of preparations might be made aboard ships prior to coming into sight of the island. What all would you like to let me know you've done or are doing?
Ritual casting, water breathing.
Water
Just
breathing.
needed. Always.
You got
Every
it.
day,
Water breathing.
every morning.
And is there a water walk as well in there?
There is, but it only lasts an hour, so as long as we're not doing anything, she can take 1/6 of her day to keep casting it.
No
but-
problem. So yes, you will have warning of coming into sight of the island enough to get up your water breathing and water walks and have full duration going. Any other preparation I should know about?
Kuhloe is just like right before we dock or whatever, she's asking around hoping that there's room. So I got a bit of a passenger I need to bring with me. And she's basically just trying to make room for Elmar so she can demount the boat epically on Elmar.
Easy enough. There is room right on the back between the stairwells, just enough for Elmar to stand somewhat uncomfortably until he is ready to disembark. Good news, though, you can conjure him up with just the cast of a spell, so he doesn't need to stand there very long.
Well, I mean, I would have hoped to have had him around for a little while, you know.
Just stare into his eyes.
Like right before I go to bed and get all my stuff back, hypothetically.
Just, Elmar, look, you just got to stand here for about 8 hours. Just look at the flowers, Elmar. Look at the flowers.
I did have one other question regarding Elmar.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the comically dropping thing, or is it the completely disappearing thing for our conversation earlier?
The armor would comically drop. So when Elmar dissipates, he goes back to being a celestial fiend or fae of your choice. And whatever he's carrying just drops like a rock.
Okay.
So if you did not have barding for him, you could have picked some up in the town to armor him up if needed.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Yep. No problem. Anything else?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do any of my new friends have issues with raries? Because it's definitely as we get closer, we may want to, you know.
Raries being telepathic bond for everyone.
Yes. Sorry.
I'm sorry. What does that even mean?
That is the we think to each other instead of having to speak spell.
Oh, okay.
And especially if we're going to end up possibly underwater.
Dawn in the past has invaded people's minds with message a bunch of times, so they're kind of
used to it. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I think the
definitely
only person.
once bad things happen sort of thing, but.
Yeah, I think the only person who's gonna have problems with that is gonna end up being you. I mean, we all know what we're all thinking. You might not yet.
Oh man, let's do it. This would be great.
All right. So it sounds like a Rary's telepathic bond will go up. What is the duration on that one?
That's only an hour, so it's more like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be a right before you disembark kind of thing. And the range on that one, I think, is pretty far. What is the range on that?
On the same plane.
Oh, okay.
As long as you're together for the casting of it.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to be within 30 feet initially.
No problem. So if you want to pay the spell tax when you disembark, no problem. You can have your Rary's bond up.
That's a ritual, I think.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Nice. No spell tax. Any other tricks of the trade to have in place?
Yeah, just before we get there, I'll cast Death Ward on myself.
Okay. 1 Death Ward in effect.
Breakfast mage armor, obviously.
Okay. Sounds good.
I mean, if we're gonna pull
Um,
out tricks, I guess I'll take a fish off the side of the boat at 2 hours before we get there. Bring it up on dock, cast hex on it, kill it, and then eat it.
yeah.
I guess if
Move
we're
my
pulling out
hex.
tricks,
Sure.
I moved my hex from the dead fish to whatever. That's amazing.
You got it. So carrying around a dead hexed fish. The
Okay.
Kasim's octopus pet is like, whoa, dude, just whoa.
It's just so much. So much is happening there.
This, woof.
Uh,
The only
I
two.
will.
Good.
Sorry, I will also cast Aid twice, so
Mhm.
everyone can raise their maximum hit points by 5 for 8 hours.
That
Sounds
works.
good.
Everyone but me, and I'm fine.
Are they just temporary or?
They are actual raised hit
For-
points, so they can be
For
healed
the
back.
8 hours, that's your hit point maximum is 5 higher.
You can put them in temp just so long as you remember that they do stack with other temp. So
Okay.
if you
And
get,
I
they
just I
do
don't want to
come
forget
back.
to take them off of the
Yes.
real one.
yeah,
How
just make
many
yourself
hit
a note.
points?
5.
5.
Wow, that makes him have a lot of hit points. Now, he
Alright.
rolled really well for his last level, so
Nice.
he has hit points.
Wow. So,
Sorry, who else got aid? Was it just Dom?
everybody,
Everybody but Valandra.
And how many? I apologize.
5.
5.
Yep.
Hot didgeridoo.
all right. So, the Grand Dame has been cutting through the waters for the better part of a day and a half to get you out, and you're now approaching the Band of Storms. It is rough water, but the boat slogs through it up, down, sideways, back and forth. You've actually rolled over once or twice, but this is a well-designed vessel, and those golems have immense strength, able to right the boat under the command of the only 2 other people on board, the owner Kasim and his pilot. As you make your way through the storm, you eventually push through into a clear area, and ahead, this is what you see.
I see water. Lots
And
of
you're
water.
gonna zoom out once it loads. All right.
That's a tiny rock.
It is a tiny rock. It's about 300 feet from end to end. On top of this rock is a massive statue. The scale of it indicating its giant origin, though it has been destroyed over the years. Only its shield arm remaining standing. That shield looks like it's designed like an enormous sand dollar, but the head, arms, and legs are broken and shattered, worn away by wind and time. On the
Dusk
Good.
Dusk is missing an icon.
Dusk is missing an icon. Did I grab the wrong person?
Also, Mord's there. I don't know if we're
Where?
piloting Mord. or-
Mord will not be there at the
Where are
moment.
there we are.
There you go. So let's see here. Dun, da, 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 da. And somehow, oh, you know what I did? I grabbed the wrong person in. Dusk. Cool. You have not yet disembarked, but this is the most likely spot for it. You can see on the southern side of the island, a boat has been moored off the edge of the rock, and you can see several piles of supplies and offerings have been laid out. Also on the island, 3 enormous giants. They are speaking with a half dozen or so, maybe up to a dozen humanoids. The humanoids are scurrying back and forth to the boat, bringing what appears to be treasure, tribute, supplies, things of that nature, and presenting them to the giantesses and then setting them down. And you observe this from a little ways away. My thought would be you're probably going to want to land on this side of the island, but I'm willing to hear what you'd like to do. It is a boat. It is powered. You can go basically anywhere you want.
Question: how long did it take us to get here?
It took you about a day and a half of being on a stormy sea.
Okay. The night before, if I can rewind slightly,
Sure.
I would have cast Hero's Feast.
Okay.
We would all have had a feast, meaning we are immune to poison and being frightened and have advantage on wisdom saving throws. And in addition to those 5, we can also all add 11 more to our hit point max.
Oh my goodness.
Can you
Hot
bring
dang.
up Hero's Feast when you get a moment?
Yep. It's amazing. It's also very expensive.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So it's an additional 16 on top total?
16 in addition to your normal hit points, and those all stack with actual temporary hit points and can all be re-healed for the duration.
Sounds good.
Immune to poison.
So, as the bolt pulls up, you've pulled into a not quite calm, but certainly much calmer section of the ocean. Out to about 1,000, maybe 2,000 yards, the sea is just normal waves, and actually they don't break very hard on this stone. Occasionally, you can spot using. I'm pretty sure you still have the stolen looking glass.
We do.
I believe
The spyglass?
the spyglass, the dragon's eye.
I do.
So using that to see quite far, you notice one of the giantesses is sort of gesturing out across the water every so often, and as they do, you can see the storm clouds in that area moving, changing, drifting about. It seems that they are in control of the storm.
Before we disembark, Talise is going to cast tongues on herself, like right before.
Sure.
Not a bad idea.
I don't think any of us speak giant.
Dusk speaks everything now.
Yes, I do. It's great.
Dusk has been talking to the boat. The boat's like, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
No, I'm kidding. I was kidding. That was a bad joke. Never mind. Shouldn't have said that.
Do you
But
speak
yes.
whale?
That I can speak.
Dusk has his face like up against the side of the hole. So Dusk heard the agonizing cry of the hexed fish as it was put to death.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Have you seen my son? He's a.
Oh,
Oh god.
So that's why monks go pacifist after 13th level.
Oh god.
So you still are on the boat. You have options available to you. What all would you like to do?
We have not been noticed yet.
You have not been noticed yet. You're approaching on the far side of the island from the ship. It doesn't look like they were expecting anyone to make it through the storm. There are still the folks on the boat moving back and forth, carrying cargo and such things. Looks like they'll probably be, you would guess, based on the size of the boat and the size of the stacks, maybe another half hour or so, if that was a full boat and they are unloading it entirely.
I'm sorry, are they loading or unloading the boat?
Unloading the boat. They are taking things off the boat and putting them, they're showing them to the giantesses and then putting them in a pile.
Talise
So-
would communicate that it looks like they're paying tribute.
Yeah.
Edgar
Bribe
can just
it?
sort of fly over and perch and get maybe see if it could pick up on any conversation
Sure.
the giantesses might have just to like get a little bit of reconnaissance on what's happening over there.
Absolutely. Please give me a stealth check on Edgar.
Edgar stealth.
Because while he does look like a normal bird, he does not look like the right kind of bird for this area.
Nope. That would just be Dex, right?
Yeah. Most likely, unless he has a actual stealth.
Nope.
That's pretty good. Unfortunately, not quite good enough. So as Edgar strikes a perch and starts listening in, you hear the conversation ongoing, and that we appreciate your consideration in this matter, and we thank you for taking care of the storms. Please accept these tokens on behalf of all of us, and presenting each thing in turn. The giantess is sort of looking at the offerings, not disdainfully, but kind of an isn't that cute sort of way.
Don will quietly relay what he's seeing, but Edgar's gonna just chill and be a bird. He will be a sacrifice if need be.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, did anybody research these giants before we left in
I
that
was
day
gonna
in the
Yes,
city?
Weren't there
ask,
rolls?
do we know anything about these giants?
Specifically these giants, or like giants in general?
So
Storm giants.
Storm giants in general are considered to be the highest tier of giant society. So it tends to start out ogres, hill giants, stone and fire, cloud, and then storm. And I might have gotten one of those in the wrong order, but generally, the larger the giant, the more powerful the giant, the higher the giant is in society. And because storm giants are the biggest, they tend to be the most highly regarded. They are known for control over weather. They are known to exist both high in the mountains and in the skies, as well as deep under the sea.
And so far as Dawn is aware, they don't know we're here.
So they have not reacted to your presence yet. And basically, I'm considering the boat is still a ways off, hiding behind the edge of the island, trying to stay low. You don't have sails, you don't have a high roof, and with a little bit of magic, of which you have a considerable amount available, you can cause mist and fog and whatever it happens to be to assist you.
Well, if it looks like they're paying them off, that's not the most, sturdiest of agreements. I don't suppose this could be solved as simply as giving them something larger, shinier, and rarer.
What do
Especially
we have
since
that's larger, shinier, and rarer, though?
Service is rendered.
You have a tower.
I do have a tower.
Oh my god, don't offer them the tower.
I don't think they want the tower.
So the tower is in the wrong
Landlocked?
scale. You remember Blagothkus's tower that you traveled on earlier? The doorways were a lot higher, and he was small compared to these giants. So as time continues to pass, you can see they've started now unloading some more exotic goods. The first batches were obviously just large piles of furs, some gold and coinage of that sort, which seemed to get sort of waved away. Now they started bringing out some more exotic things from drier lands, it would seem, incenses and musks and things of that nature. Some are lit and offered to the giantesses to smell.
Sorry, the people who are paying these giants off,
Mm-hmm.
how are they dressed?
A fair assortment. The laborers that are traveling back and forth look like normal seafaring types. You wouldn't consider them out of place on any boat. They look to be a assembled crew. There's no uniform to them. The ones doing the talking are fairly well dressed. You would say merchants or higher class, maybe even nobility. From the distance, from the distance you're at, that would be hard to see. You're making out shapes. Even with the spyglass, that's a bit of a distance. But go ahead and give me a quick perception. Does anyone have anything that would help see clearer, closer? Even with the spyglass, this might be a stretch.
I mean, Mord has eagle eyes, but if he's not with us,
Mord's eagle eyes will not.
Okay.
Will not assist you in this one. You'd have to come closer, possibly be on the island.
How about some guidance? That'd be swell.
I will cast guidance.
So go ahead and give me a perception, and we'll see how it goes.
All right. We haven't done guidance in a long time. What else do I get with that?
D4 on the guidance.
Okay, cool.
14. So they're not if they are cultists, they are not in full regalia. You don't see any of that purple. You don't see dragon masks. You know a couple of things to look for, though. Certain daggers that they carry, certain emblems that they tend to have on them to identify one another. But at this distance and with the motion of the sea, that's going to be just a little bit too much till you get close. Edgar could get closer and sort of check that out, but that would mean leaving the safety of the statue and landing on open ground or in amongst the supplies near the crew.
He doesn't. Dawn doesn't find it important enough. Like they're the problem. They're paying these giants. They're here to stop this whole shenanigans from going on. He doesn't care who's causing it.
Is our target going to then be...
Their goal is going to be the same regardless of whether or not they're cultists. So, their goal is the same.
Are we specifically thinking then that we should target that group and attempt to see how tenuous, like how likely they are to retaliate if they're not directly attacked? I mean, it's definitely not something to go in assuming it's going to happen, but like, it's, first volleys, like, we have nothing with you.
It's unlikely that that group is the only members of that group. We kill them, they'll send others. We take out the giants, the problem solved.
We could blow up their ship. They might not have more of those.
We could try talking first. I mean, violence can always ensue after we've exhausted the diplomatic.
But that takes so much time.
Do you remember that one time where you wanted to get into a library, Dawn? And you went the quick way about it, and then you didn't get into that library.
If I blew a hole through the door, I would have been able to get in a lot faster.
And then you would have been arrested, and you would not have actually gotten what you wanted.
Worth it.
everybody else is the library guard.
Yeah, there's something to be said for delayed gratification, Don. I should know. That is not the laugh I was expecting to get. All right, moving on.
And he just gives her this like dubious look, like.
And so,
I know you, sister.
I know you, brother. We should not go in swinging.
another 5-10 minutes have passed. More items have been brought out and offered. Of the things so far that have been presented, it seems like the incense is the most attractive to the giants. The three of them are each holding a small censer, and whereas most would sort of have like one in the room lit, these are holding it fairly close to their face, breathing in the vapors and sort of trading off different scents.
So they're huffing incense?
They're not huffing it. They're more there's a lot of wind going on, so they're just getting enough of it in their faces to smell it.
I think they could do something about that wind thing, but what do I know?
They like the wind.
So what do we all think? Talk first, shoot later?
If we're gonna talk, I'm pretty certain we're gonna need to at least have something to offer rather than just, hi, we're here, we'd rather you didn't, please? And I mean, we can always see what they say.
Chloe is so proud of Talais for saying talk first, shoot later. She's just like beaming with pride, but I don't know if they've had a chance to make talk since, or got contact even since what happened last time, but she's super proud, and she's like, we don't have to offer them anything. We offer them the chance to stop being jerks. I'm not...
Do the right thing.
Yeah, see? Give them a chance to do the right thing, and usually people will rise up to that occasion. I don't know about giants, though.
Well, they're still people-ish.
Yeah, they're people adjacent.
Let's keep that opinion to ourselves. Because I'm pretty sure they think we're people adjacent.
The
True.
feeling's mutual. I mean, as far as Chloe's concerned,
you
she's
go
just eager
into
to go, get this
Thinking
started.
of them as adjacent, you're gonna have issues diplomatically. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to insult them. I'm just going to give them a chance to stop being terrible people.
That's a good idea. Yes, that's fair.
I'm going to treat them like people. Now stop being terrible versions of those said people.
Alright, so we're gonna go in and maybe have a chat?
Sounds good.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Are we all going, or are we gonna let Talais and pick a backup or three, and then the rest of us hide behind some rocks?
It's all pretty flat here, as far as I can tell.
It is all pretty
Ruined
flat. It's a good between 15 and 30 foot clamber up to the top of the stone, but after that it looks like it was sheared flat, and then the statue was placed upon it. So a low swell in the sea when it comes through, it would probably be a 40 or 50 foot scramble. At a high swell, water could wash across it, but it seems fairly calm around where you are right now.
Talais is gonna say that I think we should all approach. Let's assume that this is going to go well and not go off on a deceptive foot, because if it starts going well and they find out some people are hiding, it could go south really fast.
That's fair. It doesn't actually smack of trust.
All right. And as you're coming up with this plan, the pilot and the owner of the Grand Dam sort of says, and what would you like us to do?
Wait.
Not get sunk?
Yes. Would you wish us to wait just here? Any kind of gestures to where I have in there? Wait here or go off a distance?
I would stay as close to the island as possible.
Yeah, if you get too far out, there's nothing saying they just storm you and push.
Stay closer.
All right. So they will follow that instruction to the best of their ability. They'll kind of snug up right there. You just see some of the golems reach out and grab hold of the rock and sort of hold the boat in place, and then you are able to disembark. Who's moving where, and when do you want to make yourselves super obvious?
So if we're following Talace's plan, she's gonna take a soft point, hoping that someone will be beside her.
No, Balandra is beside or in front of her, yes.
And she'll
Beside
just
and slightly behind.
start making her way across. Not like angry stomp, but like she has a point and a purpose to be doing what she's doing. She's not gonna act like nervous or scared or unsure. She's just gonna be like, okay, we're gonna do this, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, plan B.
Chloe will be on the other side of the place on Elmar.
Okay.
And we'll just start making our way across.
All right. As you start to close the distance, the giantess in the center lifts her head and looks across the stone towards you. Her voice booms out, easily reaching you. She speaks a very formal version of common, saying to you, "It is customary when one sends a herald to have them announce you, not lurk about in the statuary."
Talace will call back as best as possible, since it's very loud, with the storm and everything, in a proper giant, since she has tongues cast, that her apologies, we couldn't see quite well to know who we were greeting yet. May we approach?
You seem to be doing it. I have no reason to stop you as of yet. The crew look over in your direction, kind of peering around the statue, and Talace, you are dressed as you normally are, yes?
Yes. She's
so
not wearing the dragon mask.
not wearing the dragon mask.
Nope.
But you are in your blue attire and fairly eye-catching and obvious being who you are, correct?
Yes.
All right. You can see some conversation happening amongst the crew, and one looks to the giantess and says, "Begging your pardon, your ladyship. Those are the ones we've been warned about. They're a troublesome lot. I hear they've gone in with the Council of Dragons and may act against you."
And I can hear this?
It's enough that you can hear it. He's sort of talking up to a very tall woman, so it's a bit shouty. You might not have caught every detail, but enough of it.
We're gonna keep approaching so that it's easier to talk, and since if they're not being stopped, she's gonna say, "I wonder who warned you against us, my lady." Seems a very interesting thing to say, as clearly we mean you no harm, and she's literally holding her hands up. There's no weapons, she's not casting anything, and we've made ourselves as obvious as we possibly can. We just want to talk.
Well, you may just want to talk, but dragons and giants are hereditary enemies, and if what my companion here says is true, have you been sent against us? And you can feel there's a lot of power behind that question.
And she's just going to be honest. We came out to investigate the source of the storms, my lady, because there is a problem with dragons on the mainland. There's a cult of dragons trying to summon Tiamat, and we are trying to stop it.
And what business is that of ours?
We've been recruiting armies to help stop the cult, which has grown wildly out of control. And the storms are preventing a great deal of our recruits from landing.
And what do you wish done with the storms?
We are here to ask you to cease, or at least redirect them so that people can pass, at least close enough to the mainland for the armies to arrive.
We're not asking for any direct assistance from the giants, right? Via
No,
Raries.
we are not.
And maybe just ask that. I mean, you've kind of said it, but like, make it clear that we're merely asking for their non-interference in this issue, not even their assistance.
Yep.
And the giantess looks a bit confused and looks at you that is what they're asking for as well.
Would you mind explaining that to me, my lady?
Because those don't look like natural storms.
They're not. We've been at work calming them for quite some time so we could have our meeting here. They seek to entreat us to stop the storms as well, though do not feel it is in our interest at this time to involve ourselves.
We don't ask you to involve yourselves directly in this fight. I beg your pardon, my lady. And she turns her glance to the folks who are obviously in charge of the humanoids here. And went, exactly what side are you on?
We seek the storms to be put to rest. They're terrible for business.
Insight?
Yeah.
This is that.
Because if we're both here after the same thing,
I'm glad that we didn't assume terrible things.
So you insight check, and from the conversation that Edgar's reported, and that the giantesses seem to have been asked to stop the storm, and that they're offering them trinkets to stop the storm, it seems on the level.
I meant more the terrible for business thing. Like, is that
What
their
business?
motive? Is that their only motive? It's just
I mean, the merchants seem fairly straight up. I mean, people also die. Maybe he's more concerned about people dying than he is about money, but he's a merchant. Probably not.
Place is just gonna keep approaching because she really wants to talk to these merchants at this point. Like, this is actually, like, if people are being warned against us, that's a problem.
but
Sure.
also if they're also trying to stop the storms, then that means that the storm giants aren't the ones causing the storms.
Obviously
And they're
not.
definitely unnatural looking. So where are we supposed to be going?
They still have the power to stop it, regardless of if they're actually causing it or not. Right?
You're asking that out loud?
No. Just talking
Okay.
out loud to the party. Just
Okay.
yeah.
In
As we get
your
closer,
head.
Chloe's gonna
In your
be more
head, Barney.
accusatory.
Okay,
sounds-
that's fine.
No, just like out loud, like regardless of whether or not the storms are natural, like all of us seem to want the same thing. Not
Yeah.
the storm. Oh yeah, the telepathic link is going on, right?
Yeah, you can do it in your
Okay,
head.
cool. Yeah. That's what she's just like. Wait a minute, I'm confused. If we're all here for the same thing to stop the storms, I mean, do
And
these
so
look like
she's like
merchants?
like nodding, and she's like, I'm getting there in her head. So like they clearly look like merchants right now that we're close enough to see everything and what's going on, right?
So the best dressed of them do look to be merchants. They could be a noble amongst them, but you don't recognize any rings. But you also realize that they've probably put everything of value that they have into the pile. Like you can see in amongst the pile silverware and the family jewels and that sort of thing. So it doesn't look like they've held much of anything back as they're
Okay.
trying to ask these giantesses to do it. You do give me a perception check now that you are in range. Those of you who are looking for cult accoutrement.
I'll just assist someone on their perception check.
Sure.
Don't need it.
Nice.
All right.
Super didn't need it.
So there is some cult regalia mixed in amongst those there, though it does not appear to be on the speaker. You can see several of the cult daggers, the dragon tooth daggers, but those have also gotten into the mix in the populace. Your party actually carries a few, I believe.
Yeah, they're
elsewhere.
I think we have.
I
Like,
thought we sold them, didn't we?
We
Uh,
thought about it.
Debated selling them and never did.
So some have come through your possession, and if you sold them, they're still in the mix. Maybe you sold them to these people. Probably not.
So who looks like they're in charge merchant-wise?
The person in the front left, in the fanciest of the clothes, looks like they are speaking at the moment.
And who is this person?
And they are a well-dressed merchant, so far as you know at the moment.
Race, age, gender.
Oh, sorry. It is. Sorry, I misunderstood the question. It is a human female, stylishly bedecked. The image there is not the appropriate image for them, but she appears to be talking at the moment. The one who offered the suggestion that you were up to no good was a human male, one up, one right from her.
That would be this one?
That fellow there, yep.
Okay. So since everything seems to be at this point non-hostile, Delais is just going to keep approaching, and she's gonna approach the one who accused us of being up to no good. The gentleman here is like, and she's just not gonna accuse him of anything. She's not gonna get hostile. She just went, "Who warned you against us, sir?"
Now, everybody knows to watch for those that lie with dragons these days.
Chloe's gonna like telepathically be like, "Where are these guys from? Can we find that out? Because I recruited a bunch of people. They're from around anywhere, and they have boats. They should be kind of on our side."
Well, Delais is gonna keep continuing on. It's like, interesting that you might know that we've spoken with dragons, seeing as how that only happened a day or so.
Oh, it was all up and down the coast that there was going to be a gathering of dragons and the bastards in Waterdeep.
Did he just call us bastards?
Isn't that like the county seat essentially?
That's like a nasty word for orphan. That's like nastier than orphan. That's a.
All of us are triggered.
And as you all trigger, he's like, "What? You're all Walter Delvin?"
Joey's like, oh, over the brain link. Oh, he hates Waterdeep people, not that like we're all orphans.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like a
Maybe.
massive. It's like, oh, never mind. You're being rude, but not directly to us.
He's like, "It's okay as long as you're insulting somebody else." He's like, "All right,
So-
yeah."
Maybe we should just get introductions over, out of the way quick, because then we can become real people to them and not like those city folk. Because the sooner we can disabuse them of that, the better. I mean, I've been to Waterdeep a few times, but definitely not my neighborhood.
Weren't we there like once?
It's like,
months
all right,
ago?
let's. I can see where we're going here. So, my name's Galvin. I'm from Most of us are.
And Delais just kind of like, oh wow, I should not be here. I don't want to be here, right? Like, in the mental link, there's immediate like a burst of panic.
What is
Two bursts of panic.
Okay, so
Outwardly, she's cool as a cucumber. She may have stood up a little straighter, but inside her head, she went, "Oh fuck."
okay, so
Does she recognize anybody in this group at all?
Maybe, but we'll catch the people up who don't know what is out of character-wise. Is a city-state to the south of the Sword Coast. Slavery is legal there. A lot of things are legal there, and coin basically can buy anything. They are competitive to the point of hostility with some of the other cities on the Sword Coast, including Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate. So, if Waterdeep were in political negotiations with dragons to deal with a problem that's interrupting business and it's driving all of Am's business away, there could definitely be some animosity there. Along with that, as the images come flooding through the mental link, several party members have been involved in in the past. Thankfully, no faces are recognized, and no immediate accusations
It was really
are
important
thrown.
that you kept talking. No immediate what?
No immediate recognition, and no immediate accusations are thrown.
Okay, great.
Okay, cool. All right, we can work with this. So maybe, like, we point out that we are not, specifically Waterdeep, and B, if the cult does what they want, it's going to be bad for business not only for Waterdeep, but Ohm and everyone else. Pick Faerun. And go from there.
Let me stop you there. You've got your dragon. The cult's got their dragons. We ain't got no dragons. We want these fine folk. And he gestures up to the Storm Giants. That's the winning team.
I thought, telepathically, I thought they didn't want to get involved.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And that is what you're picking up. It's basically these Amish merchants are trying to recruit the Storm Giants, and failing so far.
Okay, all right. So it sounds like we're not directly, at odds here. Can we help the Ohm people out somehow? Like, I don't know
Like,
how, but
are you thinking
we
this
can
in
make
your head?
them our friends. Do we make the Giants our not enemies?
Like, are you thinking this in your head? Because
Yeah, well,
the
to
moment
all
you
of
start,
us in my head.
yeah,
But
the moment you are starting to like, can we make them our friends? When you're referring to the Amish people, she's like, nope, that's not gonna happen. Nope.
Yeah, we don't have enough money for that.
Nope. Am is bad. Am is bad. Bad place. Bad people.
Well, it sounds like we're at, we got a good negotiation point here. The Storm Giants sound like they truly don't want to get involved in this mess, so let's just, try and keep them as out of it as possible. It sounds like they want to hire them as their guards or something.
I just had a thought, though.
Should we ask the Storm Giants if they know what's causing the storm?
Yes, we should. Go for them, that Pelantra.
Before we get too friendly with the Ohm merchants, I do have one niggling sensation-y thing, because it's very clear that at least to me, that this person seems pretty legit and earnest. But she may very well just be a cat's paw. And I don't suppose there's like a magic button to turn their costumes, the right way. Also, it could be that the person that they trust is a cultist or something. But I don't know that we're going to get names from them very well, like you asked, but I think they just sidestepped it. So my question would then be, while what they're asking for may seem legit and, like, not an issue and we all like it, going back one step, what would the cultist, assumingly that could have asked them to come to do this, get out of it? Does that make sense? Like the real motivation for sending someone expendable out here to attempt to get this to work?
I don't get the impression that the cult is involved on their side at all.
Okay.
I mean, I guess
I could just be extra suspicious and extra paranoid.
Do I get the sense? I roll.
Do you get the sense of
That-
what?
That this group of minions has anything to do with the cult, or if they're just solely like, it is bad for our business, we like coin. Go
So, how would you think to do that? I seem to remember the last few times I've asked this question, you basically picked people up and shook them until they told you what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be the angle that we're going for here, even though I can do that better today than I could yesterday.
That's why I wanted to inquire as to how you were going to go about this.
I mean, she's asking around, so, she is looking to be, I mean, I guess it would be insight or I don't know. I would say insight or history maybe, but she's not too terribly great at it.
You could try one or either.
Yeah, I guess she'll go with insight. Go with a gut. That's Kuhloe all the way. Please.
Oh my god.
For fuck's sake. Must have been something I ate last night. My gut's not going too well.
It's this lack of violence that's really holding you back.
I think that's kind of it, is that... so, Kuhloe, you're still on Elmar. You're still mounted at this point, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I think what's basically your problem is that you're trying to, like, get a read on someone by marching your warhorse up right next to them and sort of leaning down, like, your weapons just sort of pouring forward off of you as you gaze into their eyes.
I'm smiling with teeth.
And you're smiling with tusks.
Just nothing but teeth.
I'm so friendly.
They're so friendly. And you've probably got on the makeup that Talace put on you like a day and a half ago,
to
so
get it
it's
off,
just
so it doesn't even look nice like it did that first day.
Yeah, it's just like smears going on.
I want you to know that Talace would never let her around with bad makeup on. It's either there and this is perfect, or it's not.
So you're just like, and they're just like leaning away from you, like, and they kind of look at the others of you, and they look at Talace. Do you, is she okay? Is she gonna? And like at this point,
distraction time.
The giants are just sort of leaning forward, watching this happening. Like, is she gonna go? Who's gonna punch first?
No. Distraction. We're just gonna like spin her maybe around or something.
She's on a horse. She's on a horse.
Okay. Look at me now. Distract.
Segue. Like,
hi.
Never mind. Distraction.
I'm pretty.
Look at me now.
You're pretty. Everyone's pretty.
And the giantess
you have a line on Cole. I don't know.
And this has caught the giantess's attention, and the three of them have been watching you pretty intently for some time. The storm has closed in around the island, where it was once, 2,000-3,000 feet out before it got choppy. Now it's only 400 to 500 feet away from the island. The waves are starting to kick up a little bit, not enough to disturb the boats, but you can feel the breeze starting to really catch and taste a lot more of the salt spray in the air.
Excuse me, Miss Giant. If you're working to calm these storms, do you know what's causing them?
And she sort of looks at you, and she seems to have trouble focusing on you for a second before she says, some other magics. There are many who contest our will over the sea. And she reaches out and she just pulls the air towards her, and a line of cloud just moves from the cloud bank to her hand, forming, and then she hurls it off in the distance. Our command over the seas is absolute.
Oh, that was so cool.
That was so cool.
Yeah, Talace says that out loud, like she's like, oh my god, that was so cool.
No, Dusk is probably also just wide-eyed, delighted, thrilled.
That was amazing.
And as you're talking, the other two, seemingly not to be outdone, stretch out their hands, and lightning streaks from the clouds to their hands, producing a sword that they then throw to the side.
Wait.
Oh my god!
They have lightning swords?
They have lightning swords, all three of them.
Please tell me, is that a spell, and can I research that later?
Getting good with the giants.
Out loud to like, oh my gosh, they're so much cooler than blue dragons ever could be. Oh my god, this is so cool.
So the trio of them have demonstrated their power, but at the same time, they look a little unfocused. Their eyes aren't as clear as they were when you walked over.
Are they also having some conversations on the side? Because that definitely has a certain look sometimes. I mean, are giants known for their mental fortitude? Could someone be attempting to
Giants
counter
are
their better judgment.
and giants are as intelligent as any smaller raced humanoid.
Ruqiyo,
Can
give
we
me.
check the incense, please?
Oh, good
Good call.
calls.
Oh,
Getting high.
Ruqiyo, please give me a Arcana check with advantage due to the astute feline. Ruqiyo, you look towards that incense and you carefully give a sniff and you recognize it. There's too much of it in the air. It is lingering far too long for the amount of wind that is kicked up. You've heard of such things before. Incense that can cause rage, berserking among those who scent it.
Oh, that's
no.
bad. Can I just, excuse me, this is a beautiful scent. What is this? And just, like, come over and, like, point at it and then maybe just try to snuff it.
You're trying to smell it?
No,
Don't
snuff
smell
it.
it.
Oh,
Snuff it, like,
Snuff
put
it
it
meaning
out.
put it out.
say
extinguish it.
Say extinguish.
It took me a second. I was like, oh, she means to put it out. So what have you got that would do that?
Do you have prestidigitation? Because that'll do
I
it.
do, but I mean that's cooler and more wizardy, and I don't have to make it like I like that better.
Yeah, you don't have to lick your fingers and.
So you step over and you give a gesture, and the brazier extinguishes immediately. The smoke just cuts off from it, and it goes cold. As that last waft goes up in the air, the giantess looks towards you and goes, "You ruined it." And she looks very, very mad.
And now I need to divert this. I did not ruin it, ma'am. I saved it for you for later.
Ruqiyo,
They were
move
trying
back.
to manipulate
And I will
you.
need everyone
Oh,
to
God.
please go ahead and click on your tokens and click yourself into initiative.
Yeah.
I want to do the best persuade check.
You can use a persuade check depending on what goes
initiative.
on in initiative.
Sorry guys, I'm using my 18 for myself.
And the names in the initiative tracker are not accurate.
This is the highest Dawn has ever rolled.
And that's pretty normal for me.
If we can turn this on, they were trying to manipulate you. Kill them also? Or equally?
Well,
Something. They're bad too. Get them too.
Also and equally.
Yes. They're trying to get you high, those jerks. Now,
this is not the good stuff.
All right.
I have smelled the good stuff, and the good stuff is not this.
All right. Pirate Captain represents those on the rock with you. Pirate Mate, First Mate, represents those in the boat. Dawn, you will get to act first.
Is
Hey,
going
Dusk,
to.
once you've been closer, just for preparation purposes.
Oh, is Dusk not in the pile?
No.
She's
Dusk.
way
Oh
back
yes,
up
please,
the arc.
please, catch yourself up if you would be up there. There you go.
So Dawn is going to hold his Eldritch Blasts for the. I mean, like they're getting hostile.
They are definitely getting hostile. You think that Ruqiyo's probably going to get punched, at the least.
At the very least.
You just saw a cloud javelin and lightning swords, so
Yeah.
I do have incense.
Okay. Let me just check something real quick because I'm not sure. I haven't done this yet technically. Spells, come here.
By the way, Ruqiyo and Dusk really good on that, picking up on it.
Where is it? There it is. Never mind, that's not gonna work.
Okay.
So he is going to hold his Eldritch Blasts until something violent happens. Because the spell I was thinking of is a self spell, so never mind.
Right. So, Dusk. You can see violence is in the air. What are you doing?
I'm genuinely unsure of what to do at this point. I don't want to fight them. They were cool. Okay.
Do
You
we
could
know
try
how?
knocking them down.
I was gonna say, do we know how long the incense will affect them? If
So
we could
you
like
have
survive through it, or do we
you
know
have
if it's
telepathy and Ruqiyo. Between Ruqiyo and Dusk, recognized what was going on, and these sort of things are often until everything around you is dead. It is often a you don't stop fighting until you stop fighting.
So once
Okay,
they're
how about we
triggered,
get
they won't be able
everybody-
to.
How about we get everybody on a boat and just get a really safe distance? Oh no, wait, they can do storms. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah. And the
We could just
island is
hide at the bottom of the ocean for a while.
We've got water
I thought they
walk
could
be
go
on
into the
top
ocean.
of the ocean. Yeah, they can. I think they can because they're storm giants.
We do need to make sure our means of leaving this island is not going to be destroyed as well.
Do we know enough about the sense to know whether, like, greater restoration or heal would reverse it?
They get more.
Is it a poison?
It is not a poison. It is a magical effect akin to a cursed item.
Dispel magic?
The magic's already in effect, so probably not.
Also, then not counterspell.
Heal would not work.
I guess we're just gonna have to knock them out.
Ooh.
Yeah, we may have to do that. Do what
Charmed,
you
petrified, one curse. A greater restoration could work, potentially.
And could a remove curse work?
A remove curse would not.
Okay. Oh, I don't have any. Never mind.
You could just reverse gravity and get them really far away into the sky for a while.
That would be hilarious, and I really want to actually try that.
How long does that last?
It's like 10 minutes.
Casting time 1 action. Up to 1 minute. Concentration.
So I'm gonna say the conversation has reached the point where we'll need to either start passing turns or take an action. Dusk,
Sure.
what would you like to do?
I will buy time for the others by running around and being a distraction.
Okay. Please move to where you want to run. And are you using any of your actions to do anything in particular? If you're passing next to someone, since you're not punching them, I assume, disengage would be wise. I don't think a drunken monk can run past without punching. I forget.
Yeah, it's the flurry of blows.
Yeah, so if you take a disengage, you can run past. If you just normally run past them, they could take an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I'm probably just gonna engage, because I can just do that.
Sure.
But running straight past in the opposite direction of the others, hopefully making them look over.
All right, sounds good. And Dusk, as you go running past, the storm giant in the center vanishes in a cloud of storm and mist.
Well, great.
Oh boy. Okay, I didn't see that coming. I don't like that.
Counterspell?
I mean, I could. If it's a spell.
So you look at it, you're like, that is no spell I've ever seen.
Sweet.
It appears to be an innate
Clap.
ability of theirs. To Lace, what are you up to?
Okay. Talace is actually going to immediately pop her Mantle of Majesty.
Okay.
So, all of a sudden, Talace looks really epic. Yeah, kind of really epically awesome all of a sudden. Like shining eyes and everything. Might work out because her aesthetic is lightning and thunder as well, so it might look pretty cool with the setting. And she will, which is not an action, it's just a free thing I can apparently do, according to the description here. And she will use her bonus action to cast Command on this giantess here.
Okay.
And,
Oh.
What?
Too slow.
What?
Heard of- Never mind.
What are you saying?
So, sorry, what is the command?
The command is calm.
Calm. Okay. DC 18 Wisdom saving throw. She fails, and for the round, she will remain calm.
Okay, so I still have my action, at which point she's going to address this giantess like, you've been poisoned. The incense is poisoning you.
Okay.
Anything? Anything at all?
It doesn't seem to register.
Okay, well, assuming the person that's next to her is not going to attempt to attack her, we'll see how that goes. She's going to back up.
All right. So those amongst the crew nearest you look towards Ruqiyo. You idiot, what have you done? You never take a gift from a giant. And they start to scatter. They primarily are moving back towards their boat. Is anyone stopping them or acting upon them?
Which one of these two lit the incense?
Where did they get the incense from?
So they were presenting the gifts to the giants. You didn't happen to notice which one of them lit the incense. It was one of the runners that was moving back and forth.
Okay, so the person. Okay, so they just made sure it was within the.
So Galvin and Sarah, who were the woman is Sarah, that is Galvin, were talking. The other crew members were rushing back and forth, presenting presents as they were offloaded. One of the sets of presents that were presented were the braziers of incense, and but you didn't see who delivered them. It didn't seem important at the time.
Chloe will try and yell to Gavin, as he's leaving, and just say, "There's somebody in your ranks there that whoever's newest or whoever's, there's somebody in your ranks that isn't what they say they are. So just look out." And she's genuinely kind of like, I feel like most of them are Arminian, but there's got to be a cultist or somebody sabotaging something. So she's trying to appeal to the leader of their group. Say, like, there's something suspicious is going on with your group, but yeah, that's it.
Yes, everything was going fine till you all showed up, and yes, it's our fault. Just like
Enter
a water
name
delvin.
of magic incense. Yes, of course it is your fault.
It didn't happen till that one cast magic on it.
Lies. Anyway, not my turn.
It's not like
Valandra.
It's not like they're gonna get out. They're surrounded by a storm, so have fun.
Valandra will go up to this one
Mm-hmm.
and attempt to cast Greater Restoration.
Okay. You attempt to cast Greater Restoration, and from amongst the party that is retreating, you hear, "Ah! No more magics!" Counterspell comes out at you.
Counterspell, counterspell.
Okay.
Like, there's so many of us that have it.
Counterspells begin flying about. This counterspell is cast... Oh, hang on. What level counterspells are you casting?
That's a thing.
That's a thing. Oh, so wait, Warlock?
Wizard.
Wizard would need to choose which spell slot level you are casting your counterspell
Okay, so it is
at.
prepared at
Third.
third.
So you can use a third or higher level spell slot. If you cast at or above the level that they're using, you win automatically. If it is below, there's a roll involved. If you call up the counterspell spell, you'll see the detail.
If I'm able to pick a higher level, I will. And
Okay.
can I cast
What level
it at
spell
fifth
are you using?
instead?
Do you say fifth?
Yeah, fifth
Okay.
sounds like a good number.
Sounds like a good number. Please deduct a fifth level spell,
Done.
and you have counterspelled the counterspell.
Yes.
None of that. If you're good enough for that, then you're good enough to spellcraft the
cast
spell
that?
itself.
Who cast that counter?
That was cast from the middle of the pack, right there.
The one that actually looks like a cultist? Yeah.
He happens to look a little shady.
Just don't want to shoot him. He has that hilt thing. He might
And-
First
explode.
a duel.
You know, you could perceive it as a bad thing. I think that would count.
Yeah, but then everybody over there might.
Is true.
So, Valandra,
Greater
you rush
Restoration.
up and you cast a spell on this giant. The giant still looks rather angry at you. But it seemed like it did work. Anything else?
She'll just say that should have counteracted the influence of the incense. I'm sorry for casting without asking first. And will remain there. The giant still looks angry.
All right. As you are remaining there,
Yep.
the giantess that had vanished reappears.
Reappears.
Yep.
Where? Oh, there.
No, not there. That's me having to move things around. She reappears right here.
Yep.
And she smashes at Ruqiyo.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I
mean,
blast it?
I understand her being very angry.
Can you blast? Go ahead.
Like, we really don't have, like, called shots. Like, can he, like, shoot at, like, her hand or whatever weapon she's holding?
Not really. The most you could kind of do is damage, though she's not holding a weapon at the moment.
I know, it'll do damage, but, like, just as opposed to, like, at the trunk of her body, which is
Yes,
obviously I'm trying
absolutely.
to kill you. More
Yep.
like I'm gonna shoot at her, like,
Oh, sure.
arms
So
to try to, like,
you could do non-lethal damage. So you can do
with an
non-lethal
Eldritch
damage.
Blast. Like, he
Do-
might still blow her
Tech-
hand off, but, like,
Tech-
it's
Technically, no. You have to be a melee weapon for it. So, but yes, you could shoot to wound.
in, you know, like, don't hit him. Just, like, knock her hand out the way, kind of.
Sure.
Jeez.
You can make your shot. Uh, 28 will hit, a 23 will hit, and a 14 will hit. That can't be having your
Yep,
charisma in there.
Why does it turn off every time? So add 5 to all of them.
Add 5 to all of that. So that is 8, 12, 13 plus
Cha.
15 is 28. 28 points of damage
To her hand, I guess.
dealt to her hand. And as you do that, she then...
It's kind of like an attempt to like knock her hand from like being able to hit him.
Fair. However, she just shakes it off, places her arms across, conjures 2 lightning swords, and swings both of them, trying to behead Ruqiyo. Ruqiyo, the first attack, 26 for 39 points of lightning damage. The second sword, 35 more points of lightning damage.
Ouchies.
Chloe
Ouch,
would have
so there's
tried to
those
protect,
16.
but like
Glad I had it. So, okay,
that's
wait,
not
actually,
happening.
let's just get it. $35. 91 is 58. I'm supposed to...
Valandra, the giant next to you, looks down at you. She looks you straight in the eyes and says, "Flee. I must defend her." And then she looks at Dawn, who has cast a weapon, and sends a strike of lightning down from the sky. Dawn, Talace, and the owl.
Is this a spell?
This is a natural ability of the giants. A lightning strike.
That's a
Dawn,
dexterity.
Talace, and the owl. DC 17 dexterity or take.
Doesn't matter. The owl's gone.
59 points of damage.
Oof.
I think I passed it.
You did pass it. But you will take the half. So 30 on the halves. 59 on the whole. The giant has instructed Valandra to flee. Those on the ship seem to be all about that fleeing. Rigging is setting up, sails are being set, lines are being cast off.
That would be 29. It's not a full 60. Half rounded
sorry.
down to 29.
Half rounded down. Joey, what are you doing?
All right. Well, that's a range. That's too far of a range. That one's close. And does this one actually appear to be doing what Talace wants it to do?
Yes.
Yes.
All
She's dropped into a lotus position. Very calm. For the moment.
All right. Well, then, as a bonus action, we're going to go ahead and move our hex over here to this one. And just be like, it's trying to kill fucking Ruqiyo. I mean, you're not like a brother or a sister. I mean, you are. I mean, ugh.
No, we're friendly, but I get the difference.
And then I will move up 30 feet. I'm not close enough to get into melee, so I will shoot her twice.
Maybe you shouldn't get that close.
Nah, it's fine.
You know, the whole line thing.
I don't know if that first one's going to do anything. Maybe that second one.
Actually, both will hit. Remind me about the necrotic, lightning, and necrotic. What does that mean?
All right. So there's a d6 of hex in there.
Mm-hmm.
There is 2d6 of... sorry, she conjures 2 giant lightning swords. I conjure 1 slightly smaller lightning-shaped bow.
Okay.
That crackles out a lot. And that 2d6 is lightning.
Okay.
And then the 4 damage is Life Drinker, which is the 12th level Eldritch Invocation.
Gotcha. If I could ask you to temporarily disable the lightning, the storm giants are immune to lightning.
That's a little disappointing.
But they still take the rest of it, which would be
The
5
rest
from up
of it
there,
would
16.
be 36.
You got it. And she does not look pleased. In fact, she responds to that by vanishing once more, swirling away into mist.
Oh no.
Kuhloe.
When you say vanish, like
Her whole
incorporeal,
body
can I...
dissipates into storm and cloud and rejoins with that in the sky. She is everywhere and nowhere.
That is cool and really terrifying.
And you can feel her in the storm around you.
Yeah.
This is no longer...
Yeah, I'll
it's
just
Desert Storm and the Mummy.
I'll just I was already in melee with where she was before, right?
You were, but then she vanished.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to hold an action to I have to tell you the whole thing, right? Yeah.
A trigger and an attack, or a trigger and an action.
Bonus action with that. Son of a biscuit. Her disappearing totally threw me. Has Valandra been injured or swiped at? Yeah?
Valandra has not been.
Alright, well, she attacked somebody that I love, so fuck it. I'll tell Ruqiyo to, like, hide. I'll run over here with Elmar, and, I haven't seen this one disappear, have I?
Have not.
Okay, I'll just take regular swipes at this one. And then Elmar also charged a straight line, so I believe Elmar can take a trampling charge.
Sure.
So we're at first. DC 4 strength saving throw, or it's knocked prone.
First you have to hit. So hoof attack first.
Hoof coming.
A 16 hits, doing 13 points of damage. A DC 14 strength saving throw. Can't actually fail it.
For God's sake.
And then, what are you doing?
Yeah, fuck it. Cast haste on Ian Mar.
Okay.
Take a couple swipes.
Wait, isn't haste in action?
Yeah,
And
sorry,
wow,
one swipe.
your attack is goofy.
Wow, it is really still goofy. See.
It's that 19-20 because it looks like a subtract in the algorithm.
Yeah, it's just 1d20 plus 10.
Oh, wait, hang on. How do you have an attack?
Haste gives
Oh, you get the attack, and then you make the attack. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, yes, that hits. And we'll use the 10 points of damage. And
I will fix my stupid longsword. And that's all I have for this.
gotcha. Ruqiyo.
So, I owe her some incense. I will totally give her some incense. Not a problem. But for now, since it doesn't look like we're in any sort of, reasoning, time, I believe it is time for Dimension Door, and then whichever one of these potions that Valandra gave me that looks more red, so D-door.
Okay.
And then I have a question.
Yeah.
This mostly ruined statue, is it still like standing? Like, can I like hide like under its
It is
very
not
large
standing,
protective
but you
thighs?
could get behind it. You can get into a. I mean, yes, you can be its little man. So.
Ow.
So that's an action, and then I assume a move action to pull out a potion, and I don't believe I can actually drink said potion. But
It's an object interaction to pull out a potion, but cannot drink the potion. Turn correct.
okay, so I am ready to be drinking.
Ready to be drinking. Miram. Sorry, good.
Nope, that's it.
All right. The giant S to the north simply remains still and calm. However, before Dawn has the opportunity to do anything, a thunderbolt. Nope, sorry, wrong thing. Excuse me, wrong. A enormous wind springs up, blowing from the sea to the southeast, away to the northwest. It catches the sail of the boat and smashes it prow first into the rock. It is very likely that ship will sink. Dawn.
This boat?
This boat to the south, yep, that boat. The one that's got all the sails and such. And even where you're standing, you realize that if you were in the way of that wind, you would probably be picked up and thrown.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Would giants be hold person or hold monster?
Giants are giants.
I mean, there's no
So-
hold giant spell. Like,
Well, I guess
Yeah,
that's
it
because
would
they've
be hold
discouraged that development. Hang on, I think hold monster just works on anything, doesn't it?
Yes. Hold
Uh,
person would not work.
yeah, choose a creature. They are creatures.
okay. So, the one is still invisible or has become the wind
Mm-hmm.
and is messing
Tearing
with
up a
boat.
ship.
This one is the one that cast the lightning.
Yes.
So that's the one that he's going to try to cast hold on.
Okay.
And of course I closed my sheet. Come back sheet. Where are you? Bit.
All right. And what is your DC?
19.
19. Wisdom saving throw. An 11. It is held still.
Well, good.
Which one is held? The southern one or the northern one?
This
Southern.
one.
Okay.
And he is also going to take cover. Really in like this vicinity.
And hold person is the nasty one. They are paralyzed, so you get advantage and attacks are crits. Dawn, anything else?
Nope. He's just gonna keep his eye open for when the other one shows back up.
Got it. Dusk, what are you up to?
Okay, it looks like distracting them is not really. So I'm just gonna take a pounce at the one closest, I think the southeast of.
Yeah, there's
This
no
one's
reason.
this
yeah.
one's chill at the moment.
This
It's
one
just
is
kinda
not
sitting
doing
there.
anything violent at all.
And the one southeast is the one to go at because you get auto crit
Advantage.
if you hit.
Cool, because that's the one I was going for anyway. So
Okay.
just still aiming not to kill, but it's probably not an issue right now. So run right up and do punchy punches.
Okay. Go ahead and give it a punchy punch. And go ahead and roll your d8 again. It is a crit. And that'll hit. And it'll crit. So we got 2d8 no more to go. And that'll hit. And it's a crit. So we got 3d8 more to go.
Of course.
So 10, 20, 36 points of damage struck. Your counts do count as magical, correct?
Yep.
Now they do.
And we're
Alrighty.
trying to knock her unconscious, not kill her.
Okay, you got it. Dusk, anything else?
No, I'm just gonna stay right here.
Talace, what are you doing?
Okay, she's gonna move. Well, no, first thing she's gonna do is, once again, she's going to use her bonus action to refresh the calm on the same giantess.
Okay.
So,
Wisdom saving throw?
she's gotta make an 18.
She does. And she looks real angry. Real angry.
1 second, please. Hold,
Mhm.
hold, please. Do not continue yet. Just read something.
You can't luck an enemy save. If that's what you're thinking.
I just checking.
Yeah.
Seeing as how I'm doing stuff against them, I didn't know if it would work.
No.
Alright, continue.
Alright.
I'm going, since it doesn't work, I'm going to move.
Sure.
Don't group up.
Nope. Yeah, I thank you, I got it.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure because the others did group up.
Well, we're under the thingy, technically, sort of.
Well, I'm probably
Grouping
regardless.
to avoid lightning.
Well, I'm probably gonna get hit by lightning because she's mad at me. So because she loves you all, she's gonna move out of the way as much as she can. Yep, that's where she's going. And since that was bonus action, that's movement. I can only use a cantrip spell at this point in time, since I used a spell as my bonus action, so I'm gonna do that. And I will Eldritch Blast the one that's health.
Attack with advantage, please.
Thrice.
3 times?
3 times.
Blam.
Hit.
And this is all non-lethal.
You got it. And crit it, please.
D10s? Is that what it is? 3
Yeah, another round of d10s.
3 D10s? Is that it?
3 d10s.
Oh my gosh.
25, 29, 35, 42.
Is my charisma being added into this, or is it straight D10 rolls? I don't.
Those are straight d10 rolls. Should you have your charisma in there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no,
Isn't that
no,
my
you
spellcasting modifier?
No, Eldritch
that's
Blast that's an invocation. So
Okay.
So you would not get it unless you went Warlocky.
Okay. No, I
You
didn't.
got
I took magic. I took magic initiate.
Gotcha. Talace, anything else for you?
Oh, that's all I got.
You got it. Pirate Captain does not look happy about this. He's gonna try and book it. They all try and put some distance between themselves and what's going on. Valandra, what are you up to?
Yeah. Will Chandra will get that right there and
Okay.
cast Mass Cure Wound
Okay.
through the Staff of Healing. And leave. Is it just Ruqiyo, Dawn, Lace that are hurt right now?
I think so,
You,
yes.
Dawn to Lace. Looks right.
Okay. That's 25 wall heal.
Thank you.
Thank
That's leave my turn.
All right. So with that, Storm Giantess reappears. Doing so once more. It conjures the javelin of wind into its hand.
Where did she reappear?
In the sky, about 500 feet up, falling quickly. And then she stops falling and just floats there. She conjures up a javelin of cloud and hucks it down at Ruqiyo.
Man, it's got like a Jones for Ruqiyo, poor baby.
Ruqiyo,
You should have, like, cover.
the wind javelin
Can go through things.
bends as it seeks you out unerringly.
That's
what-
cheating.
It's beautiful. I love it so much.
Twice, the javelin strikes down at you, doing 38 points of damage
Oh boy.
as the giantess floats in the sky far above.
Oh, I'm glad I.
How far is far above? Because you said she fell and then
500 feet. She's 500 feet above you.
But then you said she
100,
fell.
huh?
She's 500 feet up is
Okay.
where she's now flying.
That is where she stopped. Okay.
Yeah, she's
That's
where she's
she
flying.
stopped. Okay.
Yeah, she basically coalesced, fell, and stopped and held at 500 feet. And she did not seem to have any trouble at all pegging Ruqiyo from that great distance. Nim here gets the opportunity to break out of that paralyzation. Is it a
Nope.
17 or an 18?
19.
19, even better. Does not. The storm giant in the sky disperses once more. The pirates struggle desperately to deal with their ship, but it seems like a losing battle. Joey, what are you up to?
All right. Well, that's still locked in place. Ooh, and that's really close. Ooh. Okay. So guys, I think the only, like, if that's gonna keep happening, like, I think the only way to get her down here is to, like, make her have to get involved. So anybody against me putting this one down on a more permanent basis?
Yeah, I've got this one.
yes.
I am.
Yes.
Unconscious. Knock them unconscious.
Are we just out of character? We're trying to non-lethally damage them because we know they're not mentally affected by stuff. Basically.
Well, yeah, and I mean, while it does seem like a gigantic overreaction, see what I did there? I did provoke this, like, accident. So I'd hate to kill them over my faux pas.
And they were obviously not bad people, and situations just unfortunately spiraled out of control. Two of them have gone ragey, and the other one apparently is bound to protect her sister giants?
Could be sister giants?
It seemed to be was bound to protect the one in particular.
Yeah, which the one in particular has, like, rage eyes for myrtleating all of us.
Well, we have no
Specifically
idea
Ruqiyo.
because we haven't attacked the other one with actual physical violence, so...
And by the other one, do we mean that one?
Yes, that one was calmed and stayed still. No actual physical violence occurred to her. That may change now.
Wait,
because I could not. She made her save.
Casey, didn't you say now that she's not calm, she literally has murder in her eyes or something to that effect?
She looks pretty murdery right now.
Yeah, because I couldn't counteract the effects of the drug.
Yeah, the one to the south
She's drugged
looks
up, too.
calmer.
Yeah,
The
they're
one
all...
to the south, yeah, this one down here has spoken, rationally spoken, and told Valandra to flee, and you haven't listened, and you've been attacking. This one up here's got murder eyes, and the one that's been vanishing has super murder eyes.
Fleeing
Especially for
sounds good, then.
Ruqiyo.
Cool. Well, then, I speak that language. I speak that language pretty well. We're going to make a great axe.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
I mean,
No.
running away is
No.
probably a better idea.
Yeah, because we were specifically told to go away.
And hopefully the rage will stop when there are no targets around them immediately, and then
I mean,
we
we
can come
could
back.
literally go and jump into the ocean, which is probably not going to protect us a whole lot, but, we
Wait.
can get away.
Get away from the weather? Like, she's dissipated
Yep.
into mist. No.
She's dissipated into mist 500 feet away and around, so I
And
don't think
above
we can
us,
outrun.
in a cloud
she's-
that's mobile, that could follow us and destroy us.
But
I
if
don't-
we don't kill the others, they might be able to come down off the
I'm all for the non-lethal, like knock them out,
non-lethal.
but there's
So,
no
Joey, is
running
this
away.
chatter's constantly going on. What are you doing?
In your head. It's all in your head.
Smashing the crap out of this thing.
All right, let's see it.
Oh my
Apparently,
god,
with,
why would you do
with
this?
the flat end of my axe, I guess.
Sure.
Thank you.
Your weapon is so
You guys
mad at
are
you
Joey,
right
I love you.
I don't understand. Okay. Is necrotic damage always lethal damage? Otherwise, I guess I don't know how to shut that off.
Necrotic damage is pretty lethal. But I mean, you could even if you knock them down, you can bandage them. Like, you just can't super check your swing, but you won't insta death. You'll still have death saves. You'll just have to put a bandage on the one you necrotic. Ow. Ow. What?
Jesus.
Jesus fuck!
Wow.
Crap.
Look, I'm
my
gonna
God.
be careful.
I'm gonna be super
that is
careful
me
with the
being
flat of my
careful.
axe.
Yep, super duper careful.
I'm gonna blow a smite on the second one.
You sure you don't want to blow it on both of them and just like roll all the dice?
I
Every
mean, like,
dice.
yeah.
I mean,
It's a shame
Yeah,
this is not actually tabletop.
auto
because that would be a
doubles,
lot of
so.
dice rolls.
Yeah, oh man. Like, alright, I guess we will non-lethally double crit Eldritch Smite. Ugh. That's sentence. Alright, so what is that? That's 68, so that's 12d8 for the first one. And
Oh
then
my
that's
god!
12d8 for the
Oh,
second
There's so many
one.
crits! Oh, there's not a lot of crits on that one.
All right, I'm gonna need some help with this math.
Yep. I was on it for a
Not
moment.
it.
And
Oh
then
my god,
this
not
happened.
it.
Just a second.
We're over 120 just in the Eldritch Smites,
He's
so
hitting harder than the giants!
174 damage.
tried to
174 damage.
Does she fall unconscious
Here's the
immediately?
scary ass thing. She's still standing.
Are you shitting
she's
me right
prone.
now?
Oh, she's prone.
Oh my god!
Oh dear.
and paralyzed still, technically.
No, she's not.
Nope,
She wasn't
that's
even the
not
one with advantage. He just
Oh.
hauled off and whacked on the other one. And prone. Ow. Joey, anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, I'm a little,
Okay.
I'm just gonna let that one ride. No lightning damage off the, sword. It's fine. You guys are lightning. I get it. Yeah, okay, Chloe, can you do that? Can you do better than that?
Well, she is hasted, so she's gonna try and do better than that.
All right. Still paralyzed, so you do have advantage,
Yeah. So
and it is an auto crit.
So Joey just proved that you can non-lethally smite things, so it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. So swipe number 1.
So it is a crit automatically.
Do that.
Yep.
So
And
roll
again.
another. Yeah.
Still, well, it wasn't standing at all, but how's it looking?
And then there's another 2d8 because the original attack was a crit as well.
Yep. Another 1d8. Oh no, you're an orc. 2d8. Yep.
Oh, actually 3d8 because the d8 of proved divine smite. Oh, I guess we can take the second one then.
Wait a minute.
All right. So
Loosen.
yeah, there's a lot of damage happening here. Okay.
8.
So that is the
Are
first
you guys talking
attack
about improved divine smite? Because I had that rolled. Oh, whatever.
in
Okay.
there.
That's
That's
already
in
in there. Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
you got the two. You got it right.
44.
Yep. So that was attack number 1. Still
Okay.
holding very, very still.
God, this one's not working right.
You legitimately critted, and so that took care of the crit. And then the 2 smites.
51.
Still there.
Sorry, another 2d8.
And yep, another 2d8. Sorry, another 1d8 because you only get your.
The first one.
Take the first
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
Still standing.
Damn it. And
Oh
the
my
last one.
god!
Shoot.
And just for good measure, well, wait. I guess I have to do this before you say anything. Just for good measure.
That's true. All right. And that will put her down.
Okay.
She's unconscious.
Joey, I don't know, but that was a lot of damage. She might have topped you around in the round.
Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done. Hold on.
Oh.
And Elmar's gonna run over and trample charge at this one.
Oh.
I'll click
Okay.
trampling charge. Hooves. Hopefully.
That will miss, actually. Oh, wait, prone. Advantage. That hits. So that's 11. She's already prone. But since she is on the ground,
But
you can
I'm
make another
hasted.
hoof attack.
Yeah,
You
like
make-
just a regular
so
hoof
actually,
attack, right?
You get a regular hoof attack first
Yeah.
with advantage, which hits,
Oh my god.
and then you get your haste hoof attack. And that will put down the other giant. Both
So we have
giants
2
now
unconscious
unconscious.
She's just
Fantastic.
slowly petting Elmar in front of Joey and smirking.
Yeah, I mean, but you had like setup. Like it's not fair.
Elmar came from my head too. Elma's part of me, so it counts. Shut up.
Yeah. With Elmar's damage, that was more than Joey's. Without Elmar, Joey still did more damage.
Getting close.
But it was close.
So, Chloe, Joey are doing their duke out. Chloe, anything else?
She's just gonna shout up into the storm and say, "Look, we didn't flat out murder them, but if you don't come down here right now and talk to us like, a civil giant, like we just want to talk, just like before, we just want to talk.
Just-
come down."
Just talk
in
it
her
out.
mental place is like, you can call them people. They're still people.
I think they prefer giants. Don't they think they're better than? I don't know. Whatever.
It's still a person.
Giant
Ruqiyo.
person.
What are you up
Okay,
to?
so I've got nothing else that's really groundable on this island to use. Also, the more important question is when I pop this potion and drink it, what do I roll, Valandra? Potion of greater heal?
44 plus 4.
Is the potion of healing better?
That's 2d4 plus 2.
Right.
The greater is
Sure.
always going to be
4d4 plus what?
4. Oh my god.
You know what? I'll take it. It's more than I had before.
Mm-hmm.
What else can I do? I don't suppose I can double fist potion.
What was that?
Double fist potions,
No, you can't double chuck.
No.
There's like a rogue that can kind of do it.
Okie dokie. Well, I suppose that was an action. I can't really ready another real action.
Yeah, if you're worried about your hit points, you could move closer to Valandra.
Yes.
Within, like, that range.
Without standing directly below to lane.
I think we can do that.
There we go.
I said without.
we're enough. I'm not directly below Talace.
All right. So, Ruqiyo, anything else?
I'm sorry.
As you call out, you're sorry. The storm giant appears. Now that you're in the open space, she seems to want to get personal and appears directly beside you. Once more, the lightning swords are brought to bear. Lightning sword number 1.
I have a 14. I don't know that a 14 would make her miss.
Nope. No, it won't.
Alright. Using my 18 for when I die.
All right,
boy.
so I heard you start talking, and I rolled too quick. Were you using one of your rolls?
No. Basically, if I die and there's some sort of save, I would have used my 18 on that.
Okay, so you take 50, 60. What the hell is that? 76 points of damage. And I'm assuming you fall down.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Yes,
She
I do.
swings the other sword at your fallen body. 29 points of damage. Excuse me, 29. How many hit points do you have? Total.
Being funny and just my
total
character
total hit
sheet.
points. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be very happy that my total hit point maximum is currently 91 plus 16.
107.
Say it again.
107.
107, which is a really good thing because this cannot be enough. Had it been 70 or less, you would be very dead. You currently have 2 death fails.
Okay.
Dawn, what are you doing?
Hold person on that one, or hold monster on her.
Okay.
Last spell. Wonk.
Worth it.
Wonk. There we go. 19.
27.
Fuck you.
Dawn, anything else?
There's like no point in running away. He's just gonna well, fuck.
Dawn,
Loudly in everyone's head.
as you scream out, fuck, the giant looks down at Ruqiyo and hurls a thunderbolt directly down on what is now Rukiyo's corpse.
Wait. Does it have attacks that are not on its turn?
It has legendary actions.
Legendary action.
That's amazing. Hey, you guys, at least this isn't on you guys, so...
There's a life cleric here. We can bring you back.
There is a life cleric.
You
We'll
were
see if
willing
they can
to-
bring you back.
You were willing to, resurrect random dead traitors on the road. I'm pretty secure here.
Kasey just can't go 1 week without killing some characters.
Gotta kill some characters. Dusk, what are you up to?
Incredibly distressed at everything that just happened.
Oh, and Rary's disappears.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Now you have to scream out loud.
Oh, yes, you do have to. So all of a sudden, you're you're only talking to yourselves.
Now I'm just screeching. Okay, so this one over here is down.
The
That's
two
down.
are
This is
unconscious.
the only one that's still up.
She is up and she is on the ground. She wanted to get personal.
I'm mad.
Okay. That will hit. That will hit. That will hit.
And I'm using a key point this turn, so I'm going to get another.
Okay. That will hit.
And that's it.
Okay.
How much movement do you have left, Dusk?
Let me double check.
Technically speaking, telepathic bond isn't concentration, so it wouldn't necessarily vanish.
Well, but the caster who's
I've got,
powering
like,
it is
15.
dead.
15.
Yeah, the brain
you should
hive
go
where
here.
it started.
Did you get me, Dusk?
I've got like 15 feet.
Yep, I want you on this side of the freaking giant, or this side, one of the other. Anything that's not directly below Ruqiyo. Beautiful. I love you.
Drunken monks stagger
Yay.
away. The giant cannot do anything in response. Lace, what are you doing?
Okay, fun times at this random island in the middle of nowhere. Talace is going to cast a force cage around this creature, even though it didn't actually show you the thing. There is no save. This freaking happens, so go me. I don't know why it's not showing you the damn force cage.
Okay.
I have no idea why it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Let
Because
me.
roll 20.
Why not roll 20?
It's maybe just
On.
thinking really hard about it.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta think.
There we go.
There we go.
Ooh.
Prison springs into force. An area you choose. Prison can be shape of a cage, up to 20 feet on a side. Yep. Half-inch diameter bars spaced a half-inch apart. Okay.
And nothing can pass through it. She can only either, if she has the abilities to do interplanar travel or rotation, those are the only things she can do in the cage.
Any creature that's completely inside the cage's area is trapped. Creatures
Any
only
matter from
partially.
passing through it. Oh, interesting.
And she's
Partially
only
within the cage.
15 feet, so she is within the full cage.
She is. She's 15 feet. You can only make a box 10 feet. Or wait,
No,
I
no.
meant
20. It's 20.
The 20 is
20
the
feet
bar.
Up to
on a
20
side.
on a side.
That's
So
a
20 by
cage.
20 by 20.
That's a
That's what
cage.
she's doing.
Okay. Cages
Or-
don't have a lid.
Or a solid
Huh?
box. Yes, it does. Oh my
Hang
gosh.
Well, no, it's got a prison cage and a
Cube-
prison box.
Cube-shaped prison for both. Cube-shaped.
So that would
It
be
has a top.
six-sided.
Prison the shape of a cage. Prison the shape of a box.
It
It
depends
can be
on whether
cage
it's-
with bars
Okay,
or a
cage with
solid
bars.
box.
Okay, you want a cage with bars. Got it.
It's a
All right.
cube-shaped prison. Very first sentence.
Okay, got it. All right. So it is a cage with bars.
Yep. And she
Okay.
is completely encased because I made sure her size would fit inside a 20-foot cube, which it
Okay.
will. And the only way for her to escape this is if she can teleport or use interplanar travel, and she has to make a charisma saving before she can attempt it.
Got it. All right. Sorry about that. This is a new spell to me. Talace, you have caged a critter.
Oh,
And what else would you like to do, if anything?
Well, that takes my action. That takes all of my action. So, and my available bonus action really doesn't help anything. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and inspire Vol.
Okay.
Have an inspiration, Valandra.
D10.
Yep.
The crew seems to see things are not as terrible as they thought, and reverses course, heading down towards to try and recover their ship. Like, we gotta get out of here. Valandra, what are you doing?
That good question. So, if I'm reading Force Cage right, only the solid box blocks spells?
That appears to be the way I'm reading it.
Yeah, you can't cast within, and she can't cast.
No, she can, because you did
No.
the cage.
Only the solid box blocks spells.
No, I
think.
would have done the solid box. Cube-shaped
What?
box.
No, you can't.
But then
'cause
she
the-
won't
That
fit.
one's the smaller one.
No,
So she's
not.
It says the prison, the shape of a box, can be up to 10 feet on a side. But the prison, because it's less matter, can be bigger.
So she can see out the bar slats, but she can't pass through it unless she does the charisma saving throw.
Okay.
But there are still bar slats, so people can attack in and out as long as it can fit between the half-inch space. So if you have something that can fit through a half-inch space, attacks can pass in and out.
Okay.
Because they're visions. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I will move up here, and I will cast Greater Restoration on the giant.
She does not want you to touch her. And I mean, you could make an attack. Try tap her.
I mean, there's not an attack roll for it.
No, you could just make an unarmed
Just
attack.
make it touch attack. Since she's actively avoiding you.
Okay.
Just roll a d20. Roll better than like an 8.
22.
I was gonna say.
Yep.
She's a giant.
She's pretty easy. So you reach out and tap her, and she looks super pissed. But you feel like the magic worked.
Alright.
All right. That's not 1d29. What are you doing, Kasey? The storm giant is still very, very angry. She looks around at you all, and she looks at Talace, and she hucks 2 javelins of cloud at Talace as she demands to be released. Talace.
Oh my god, you guys, I have the best idea. I need someone to be able to, like, make a giant curtain. Just break line of sight and come back in 20 minutes when she's calmed down.
I could do that, actually, if I'm still up.
So Talace, you take the 40 points of damage. Lightning.
So she just gets to hit me?
It is an automatic attack. It's like a magic missile.
It's what happened to me too.
Yep. It strikes with unerring accuracy.
Okay, where's the damage? I can't tell what you're rolling.
40 points of damage. 19 plus 21.
Okay.
And then pirates start readying their boat, throwing ropes back and forth.
But isn't
Joey,
it sinking?
it is. They're trying to repair it. Like
Trying
it is
to not
smashed
sink.
against the rock. They're trying to get it up, get boards in. This is kind of the way home. There's treasure. Joey, what are you doing?
I mean, shoot, like I feel like I shouldn't have to do anything. Like I just put, well, I almost put one down, and then Elmer for help. Okay, fine, guys, we'll do something with this one.
I was gonna say, can you blow a hole in their boat so they don't get anywhere?
I mean, murderous giant thing in front. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, so there's a bunch of offerings here, right?
Yes.
Okay, are any of those offerings like fine silks?
Yes. So there
All
are
right.
furs and silks and all manner of valuable things, trade goods, and basically everything they could think of value.
Awesome sauce. Let's make a tent.
Okay.
I don't know how much fabric I can gather and or place. I don't know how you want to do that, but I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, let's make a tent, just like back in the day.
All right. You start throwing tent and such atop, and as you're doing that, you can see the giant inside is trying everything she can think of to get out. She is throwing herself against the bars. Physically, she is dissipating into mist, trying to force her way out. It is like a small tornado inside there as she tries to make herself force through the bars. So far, no success, but she is super pissed. You begin tenting up, throwing huge swaths of silk over it. She's reaching out and tearing those apart as soon as they're tented over it.
You can get outside of the bar?
She can reach out and reach in. Or she can stick things out and in.
But it says that they can't leave it by non-magical means, and by extension of the fingers leaving a cage, that would be leaving the cage.
I mean, I guess so, but she also has lightning swords and air javelins and all sorts of things.
She could also just huff and puff and blow her way, like.
She also has a
so
gust
soft,
as
not-
well, but that'll come up in a moment.
Oh.
All right. Well, Joey hasn't always been the brightest, so I mean, like that's probably what he thought of in those 6 seconds.
Yep.
And just be like, "Hey, listen, all right, we didn't kill any of the other two. I think little girl Blue just fixed up your brain, so I know you're mad. But in the Warrens, we'd always go on timeout when we were mad. Now
Okay.
I understand that you're throwing lightning bolts at everyone because you can, but like." Take a beat, take 6 seconds, and we can talk it out, probably.
Seems reasonable. Kuhloe. Nope,
Right.
mute.
No. I'm just thinking. Milk information. Yeah. I mean, she's gonna run up because all the business is done over here. She's gonna run up on Elmar and look at. She's gonna look at Valandra and see that Valandra would have helped if she had to do another thing. So she's like probably looking at Valandra with tears in her eyes already, and she'll try and drag Ruqiyo up on Elmar and try and take off behind the statue. That
Sure.
can be done, especially
Absolutely.
with haste and move. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So
No problem.
Ruqiyo's slung over Elmar, pulled over here, and Kuhloe will cast Revivify.
You got it.
That works much better. I was worried about using Revivify because I couldn't get out of range.
I can move all over this damn little rock
Yeah.
right now.
All right. So you start moving all over that damn little rock. Ruqiyo, you experience the afterlife for whatever that holds for you. And then you experience Kuhloe going, this is expensive.
And Kuhloe would also be like, you stay hidden. You stay here. I'll drag your ass all over here. Don't make me.
So
Squishy,
you're
I
no
can't
longer
lose you
dead,
again.
And you're at 1 hit point.
1 hit point. I suppose I will shakily give you a thumbs up and be like, Yosh.
Got it. As that happens, a cloud of fog descends, surrounding the giantess, the cube, and those within it. It is a magical fog, blocking sight. Standing up against the wind It is 20 feet in radius. So covers most of this area here. Dawn. As this bank of fog descends, what are you up to?
Useful. Oh.
All he can really do right now is shoot. Is this a, I mean, I know fog is a spell.
So you've seen this giant control the weather. You imagine this is likely
More
one
of that,
more of that effect. Since she cannot reach you and she cannot see, she's pulled the storm in close to herself.
Yeah, I don't even have any, good scrolls anymore. So I think he's just gonna kind of like linger over here and watch and hold some blasts in case she escapes, like makes saves and stuff. Because we're trying to get her to calm down, but if she's going to escape and continue attacking, he's gonna hit her.
Understood. Dusk. It is dark. What would you like to do?
I mean, if she's still in the box,
She is
I don't
still
really
in the
know
box.
what else to do. Like, other than just, like, sit there and I guess help make more drapes. I have no idea what else to do.
Okay. You help out Joey applying more drapes. At this point you've switched to furs. They seem to hold up a little better. You're tying things down. You're like, this is a really big elephant. To Lace.
So
Give me a perception check, please.
okay, sure. I'm gonna go ahead and use a luck just in case.
Okay.
And I can make that choice even if I can choose to take the highest one, whatever it is. So I'm gonna take the 16 then.
Fair enough. You are kind of keeping an eye on things, and you can see what others cannot. The two giantesses have stopped breathing.
Oh God!
Oh my god.
They may not have to.
Fix them! Fix them!
Whoa, 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 that's not what I want to click. Okay.
Oh boy.
Crap, I can't make it. Would checking for a pulse take a full action?
Oh, you could get over there and inspect them fairly quickly.
Okay.
It's a big pulse.
It is a big pulse, and
Yeah,
when they breathe, air moves.
okay. She's
And
gonna get
you rush over. They are stone cold dead.
Who did that?
She's gonna immediately go shout for Valandra, like to come over because they've died. Something killed them. Like she's like holding this very large head in her arms. She's like, Valandra, they need you. How did like this is non-lethal damage? We don't know how this happened.
Not saying all of that out loud.
I mean,
Right?
Mostly it's the panic
you
Valandra.
don't have telepathy anymore.
Does it come back when Revivify comes? Like the inner, right?
A concentration spell is only it doesn't disperse because it's not a concentration. It's just a spell.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Thought it.
we can still talk to her in the head.
You got it. The merchants and seagoing folk continue their work on the boats. Valandra, what are you up to?
Oh, good. I am within range. I will come over. Can I make a medicine check to determine what killed them?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a medicine check. You check it out and you're like, Joey 100% murderized this one. And then Kuhloe did too. Or actually, Elmar did. The only wounds you see are the ones that you believe your party inflicted.
That
We could have
in
been.
a sense wouldn't happen to have some sort of fatal effect, but it.
Well, but we were breathing it too. It's possible we've been affected without knowing it.
Potentially.
Oh, that's tricksy. Oh, I love it.
Kasey, did you really add in some kind of airborne disease to this? Like, seriously?
I'm not
too
answering
soon,
this question
Kasey.
yet.
Too
Not answering this
soon.
question. Valandra. So you got over there, you used your inspection. We'll say that was an action there. Any bonus action or additional movement?
No, that was all my movement. Bonus. Nope.
All right. Nothing that you're aware of happens within the fog bank. The pirates continue to try and make their way, getting their ship repaired so they can hopefully get out to water again. Joey, what are you doing?
Hey, you still in there? You still in that cage? Because we're gonna sit here and we're gonna have a
She's 100% still in that cage.
we're gonna have a long chat. It's gonna be like forever. It's not. It's gonna be longer than these 6 seconds that of bursted conversation that we've been having.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, like you're in the
So,
box.
I'm going to pause turn order here, and we'll drop into regular mode. The sailors are still frantically trying to patch up their ship and get it to the point where they can get on and get underway and get away from you crazy folks. Inside the box, the giantess has gone quiet.
But there's still cloud formations.
There is still a 20-foot bubble of darkness and cloud around her.
Someone
wonder-
check the one in the cage.
I wonder if she's actually trying to help you guys? Because if this is blocking our line of sight to her, it's also blocking hers to us better than what we can do with the sheet. Can I, like, sense motive that fog cloud?
Can you
That
sense
sounds
motive
so
that
weird,
fog cloud?
But, like,
Insight check.
sense motive the
Insight check.
action?
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check. That's fine.
My 14. So that'd give me a 20.
Did that roll?
I didn't click it because I wanted to use my portent. But
Oh, okay, I got you. No,
because I knew that if I did that, it would do the thing.
no problem. So you sort of check it out, and that is definitely a more defensive measure that she applied it to herself rather than throwing it on others. And you've probably seen wild animals or proud creatures caged, and this is similar to that sort of rage and withdrawal that happens.
Don't gnaw your hand off. Not out loud. That was just from brain. Alright. Please tell me we have a way of waking these nice ladies up.
I will
Somehow.
cast Revivify on this one.
You go to cast Revivify, and it fails.
What do you mean it fails?
Can I tell how? Why?
Certainly. It fails. You know there are reasons why a Revivify would fail. Among those, a soul not being free to return, a soul not wishing to return, a creature that has been raised as an undead,
choice
Absolutely.
and all that.
So either they don't want to or they can't.
Can't. Interesting.
Yeah, Dawn, wouldn't this be like a super huge question for you, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, eh.
Sure. So, what sort of investigative techniques are you applying to the situation?
Items? Faith? Spells?
Sure. Well, you know of spells that can definitely,
Keep that
uh,
from happening?
yes. I mean, Ruqiyo, you seem polite at least. Dawn, I feel, is probably aware of if they want to make someone very dead and keep them dead, how to go about such a thing. Some easy ways that are available at low level is zombify somebody right after killing them. You can magic jar them. You can do a number of things there, including certain ceremonies and certain other things.
Magic jar. There'd have to be a container close by for the soul, right?
Are they wearing rings?
They are not wearing any. So a detect magic. I think one of you has
Yeah,
that.
his
instantly.
eyes just go
Yep.
glowy.
No magic items upon them.
What about in the piles?
Yeah, like around the vicinity.
Hidden in the...
He's gonna wander about.
Sure. So wandering about, you do spot the remains of the incense. Two of the braziers are still smoldering. Only one was extinguished. Other bars of incense laden with magic are in amongst the gifts.
He'll snag those and just set them aside and be like, those are the ones that...
Kuhloe, as you head over to the sailors, they're like, excellent, here, have the horse pull, and they throw a rope to you as they're trying to get the ship sort of edged up on the rocks so they can hammer some of the boards back in place to prevent the leakage.
Dawn, you want to come close to this group and see if there's any magic at work in
Yeah,
this
he
group
kind of
over
wants them to not go.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah, no.
I'll tell him I'm offering to help. I'll help you, but first everybody get back here and group up over here. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Because you have
We
some
gotta find the
explaining to
shady
do.
looking
You
one.
have some explaining to do. Yeah, everybody.
Everybody. Everybody who's on the boat.
Yep.
And they're looking at you like you're batshit crazy. Like, do you understand what you've done?
Do you want your boat to work?
understand what you've done?
Yes, we're dead. We're all dead. We'd like to at least try running. I suggest you do the same.
Yeah.
Who here knew that there was incense of whatever in the burners?
Let's get them grouped up, because I feel like I can get them all to tell truths if we get them grouped up.
They don't seem to want to group up. They seem to want to keep on trying to repair this boat.
Well, I would really like them to come over here.
Okay.
I'm
So you make one of them. Okay. So
whatever.
Sarah comes over here, and we'll just assume that works. And like as Sarah's coming over, they're like, just keep working. I just got to find out. I don't know. I really want to listen to her for some reason.
I highly suggest you tell your people to stop and come over here. You need us to help you get off of here. We're willing to do that, but you guys got some questions to answer also.
No. Look,
Either get off the boat or we'll
Sarah's
sink
like-
it.
Sarah's like, listen, I don't know what you think you just did or what you think the dragons are going to protect you from, but you've just declared war on the giants. We don't want any part of that. We were trying to get an alliance with them. We don't have dragons on our side. We'd like to run away now. How much money do you want so we can run away?
Somebody else caused this, and it wasn't us.
Right.
Yeah,
Somebody
you know what?
on your
I can
boat.
see which one of you hit which one of them. You caused it. We're out of here. You know what? If there's a traitor on my ship, I'll deal with it. We'll kill him at sea. I don't care. We need to get out of here.
Unless they have the ability to go invisible and kill you in your sleep. You ever think about that? You worried about that? Were any of your men disappeared for any part of that? Anyone? Is there even a chance that you could not account for one of them during that time?
Someone
There's
that could
in
plan
this
this
damn
probably wouldn't
incense.
want loose
And,
ends.
and she's just looking at you like, what?
If there's a doubt in your mind that you had knowledge of where all of your people were at all times, if there's even a shadow of a doubt, why would you take that chance? Why not just let us make sure that everybody's telling the truth?
Every one of these would sell me out for a wooden nickel.
So
I
why would
pay
you
them
trust them?
specifically so they don't.
Right, but money is not what motivates everybody.
And she just looks at you like, it is. It really is.
Why are we keeping them alive again?
I mean, Chloe's not down for outright killing them, but she doesn't want them to
Dawn
leave.
is.
So Dawn, I mean, smash the boat is all you want, as far as Chloe's concerned, because it's basically like just kind of stuck at the thing, right?
They're basically holding. They're trying to pull and secure it so that it is up enough out of the water so they can get the hull repaired, so that it will stay afloat long enough to get them 3 to 4 days through stormy water back out.
Yeah, Chloe just gives Dawn the
Dawn
eye
is
of,
gonna,
like,
he's gonna just start Eldritch blasting the feet of like the people down on the boat because he can't actually target the boat, but if it stops them from being able to fix it,
All right, so
cool.
3 sailors die in short order.
Hey, we've
blow their
already
feet
proved
off.
He's
Eldritch
just
Blast
gonna
can be
keep shooting.
non-lethal.
Like I was shooting at feet, they're gonna lose feet.
Yeah, they lose feet, and then all the blood pours out where the feet used to be.
You know
It
that takes
doesn't
a while,
cauterize.
right?
So
You know
no.
that's a while, right? You don't
They
bleed
can
out
bleed
in
out
2 seconds.
eventually. Like he'll just keep
It takes
like
a while.
So in D&D world,
fish in a barrel, just
you
one
just
at
all
a
right.
time.
Oh
So
my
they're
God.
like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, Galvin looks at the, like, yeah. See what I said? Crazy ass assassins of the dragons. We're all dead. Giants won't even get to us in
It
time.
doesn't make a whole lot of sense where we told you what you could do to not die, and then you chose to just die. I mean, not everybody's motivated by money, then, I guess, huh? Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, again, I said how much, and you won't give me a counter offer. So obviously you're well paid.
The counter offer is just, I don't want any of your money, just do what I'm asking you to do. That's it. I don't even need to take your money. If you're so motivated by money, keep it all, just do this thing. For free. Just do this one thing.
One thing.
Uh-huh. Get off the boat and sit your ass down right over here. All of yous.
So they all start getting off the boat and sitting their ass down over here, because the ones of them that can still walk.
And Chloe, as they walk by, if any feet are burned off, Chloe will give them 1 point of lay on hands. Just, okay. You're alright. You're fine. It's just a flesh wound.
Oh yeah, a lot of peg legs. Peg leg sales will be skyrocketing in if the ship ever makes it back home.
Okay, and then she'll start doing ring.
Get
Okay.
closer. Snuggle up,
Yeah,
everybody.
you guys know
Snuggle
each
up.
other. Y'all close there. Long story short, just trying to cast Zone of Truth over the
Uh-huh.
entire group.
Yeah, they're like, oh great. They're
I mean, I'm pretty.
wait. Let me
certain
guess.
Warlock
You
could
want
talk
us
to
all
Geralt,
within a
but-
40-foot circle, huh? Fireball, huh? We've been through this before.
Do I look like I can cast Fireball? It's the one that's hiding behind the statue.
Valandra can also cast Zone of Truth. So we got 2
Also,
15
I don't
foot
think I'm
radius.
still hiding.
There's so
I
much
don't think
truth
you need
going on.
2 zones of truth. It's 60 foot. Oh, it's 50 foot radius. I get you.
Yeah.
Able to make them do 2
I
saves.
don't.
Just move these guys on the edge in. Everyone can get within 15 feet of the center, I believe.
Elmar will start herding them in.
Yeah, you can get these people within.
With the 2 of us, we easily can. Yeah.
All right, so you pile them all into the zone of truth, and then what happens?
All right, what questions do we want to ask? And she'll turn to kind of Talace, since Talace has been leading the discussion, and Valandra. Be like, what exactly do we want to phrase? Because they can't tell a lie, but they're not going to just out themselves either.
What
They
was
won't?
in this incense?
Well, I know exactly what was in the incense. I want to know who brought the incense and if they knew what it was when they brought it.
Okay, go for it, Ruqiyo. Speak out loud.
Okay.
Come over next to the important-looking people.
So.
Oh, hey,
you-
there I
There's
was.
2 of you on the board, Ruqiyo.
There was, because I thought I
Oh my
disappeared.
god.
Ah!
I'm revived so well.
I was hidden under another
There's
Damn it.
2 now.
I don't know what you're
So-
talking about.
So, this takes a little while to gather everybody up. Dusk, you can hear that the storm giant inside the cage has gone from quiet to loud to quiet to rattling to the point now where the ground is literally shaking as she tries everything she can think of. You see like little cloud javelins just actually you don't see it, you just feel the air as cloud javelins come hurling out, lightning strikes happen all within that little condensed space. Bits of stone are flying up towards you and bouncing off you. No damage, but it is a mess in there. Joey, you're in that kind of mix as well, a little further out. A couple of stone chips will hit you. All those goods that are close enough nearby are getting just scorched and ruined.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
Most of what she was seeming to be doing was like innate storm giant-y things, but did I see her cast any actual spells? And was she
You saw
casting
any
arcane
actual
or divine?
magic? You did not see any magic.
Okay.
You just
So she
saw
may not have
innate
the ability.
powers.
Okay.
Now, innate powers including turning into a storm, throwing lightning around, and that sort of thing, but you didn't recognize any access to the weave.
Okay.
But at this point, she is literally chewing up the ground beneath her as lightning strikes keep striking down from above through the cage to the floor, blowing things out like she's trying to dig her way out. Place you know it's got a floor and that's not going to work, but it's not stopping her from trying.
More important than anything else, who knows why these ladies cannot be revived? To the part.
And
Nada? Crickets?
let me just I'm catching myself up here.
Reading. Okay.
There's a silence for a few seconds, and then one of the individuals, and you're pretty sure it was the same one that cast the counter spell, chimes up and says, "Because we made sure they wouldn't."
How?
Which one is that?
Gavin?
It is
Galvin?
not Gavin. It is this
One of
fellow.
these 2.
Yep, this fellow right here.
Other
Yeah,
one.
the suspicious-y one that we thought was maybe in the...
And he's like, magic.
What specifically of a magical nature?
Magic to stop people from reviving. Destroys the soul.
What? Can I bitch slap? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. May I slap him?
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
may.
that's an attack roll.
Yeah, Kuhloe will just hold on, and she'll turn to Galvin, and just say, "Did you is this person been on your crew for very long? You hear what they're saying right now?"
Okay, so, Ruqiyo, do me a favor and roll yourself into initiative.
Come back. Probably shouldn't touch them. Holy, that's
So that's
unlikely.
a pretty good initiative.
Even have a
So
dagger, but-
you go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Pretend this isn't actually a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
That did not do what I meant for it to do.
That's
You
all right.
rolled the proficiency, not the attack.
You can just throw a d20.
Okay,
You just
yeah, okay.
Throw a d20. That's fine.
D20.
So yeah, you try, but he's just like whack, knocks your hand away and starts to go for his dagger. And Ruqiyo.
Talace,
I
can
mean,
she
if
roll
he's
in? Can Talace roll in?
He's going
Not
for a
yet.
Dagger.
Not yet. This is just the two of them because it's there. His dagger looks like a scimitar, but it won't do as much damage. A 9 is probably gonna miss.
Even me, yes.
Even you. But it looks like a brawl is about to start, at least between those two.
So that'll probably trigger a shield.
Okay. So let's clear the turn order for a second.
He didn't
And let
hit
me
you,
ask.
Kasey.
What's that?
Oh, it's not a magical spell.
What's
Okay,
that?
never mind. It's a... Yeah, I was misreading it, so never mind. It didn't actually hit, so that doesn't happen.
No problem. You're fine. He just totally whiffed you. So he's going for his weapon. What are the rest of you doing?
Asking Galvin if he sees what's going on, trying to turn the rest of the group against this one person, so this doesn't turn
Okay.
into a bloodbath on our side.
So
I'm gonna try and grapple that guy.
Okay. You rush over to grapple that guy. And as you're doing so, I think you're all feeling a bit violent, more so than perhaps usual. And I will ask, I happened to mention that 2 of the braziers were still lit. I don't remember anybody telling me that they put them out.
Please.
Did anyone tell me that?
No. But I have an action.
Okay. So the area in which the giantesses were standing when all this went down is right about where you all are. Right where you gathered all the crew members up and made them sit around the still smoking brazier.
Really
I think
is.
everybody's a
Oh
little
god,
more
we're so
on
silly.
edge. And
I mean,
I-
wasn't
I-
the lady in the cage going apeshit with the weather, though? I mean, not all of them could have been blown in and affected by the braziers. Surely.
I mean, you just sat them all down where one's still smoking on the ground.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because her stuff is specifically, she was drawing it in towards her cage, so it would be affecting the outside area less than it would have been before, and it was still affecting the giants.
So
it should have been the first thing we did as soon as we saw that.
that's all right. It's not full on rage mode yet, but everybody's on edge, and it looks like they're all about to grab daggers. They understand that one of their own did something wrong. You have pointed that out, but at the same time, you've murdered a lot of people, and you weren't too shy about shooting off legs.
That is true.
Shooting off feet, sorry. What are you all doing with this situation? Is it going to be combat-y, or is someone got an idea?
Taking care of the brazier only keeps it from getting worse.
Fair.
I think we need some time to process. And that's only 6 people. Darn it. Part of me wants to slow everything down. Because thematically it sounds great. But
Okay.
can't affect everyone.
Anyone else have any ideas before action starts?
I am going to cast Calm Emotions.
Okay.
I love you, Valandra.
Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius, it's good that you gathered them all up. So, while the truth is still going, everybody's like, man, do you remember when you cheated me at poker? I'm going to tear your face off. I didn't cheat you at poker. You're just bad at it. And your wife likes me better than you. And just, it goes sour. And then everybody kind of chills for a moment. And as all that's happening, Dusk, you're the first to realize it, Joey and then Talace. The fog bank is dissipating.
Can we see through it?
As it does. And within the cage is the corpse of the giantess. The ground below her has been blasted out a deep hole beneath her.
So
She'd
I've
rather
get off
she
the
gnawed
carpet
off her foot.
line. So, like, I didn't want to interrupt because other things were happening, but I did type in that I wanted to talk to her while that was going on.
Yep. I understand you came over, and what were you saying? Basically, she was still in full riot mode at that point.
Like, I was going to try and talk her down, but I guess that just never happened because we just breezed past.
It had no impact on
Okay, sure.
this event. So basically, there was just rage happening
Sure.
in there.
That's fine.
At this point, you're left with the 3 dead corpses of the giant. Investigating the one inside the force cage reveals that the same issue. She cannot be revived. Her soul is not available. When eventually you lower the force cage to check her, she bears additional wounds that you did not strike. Claws seem to have torn at her.
Wouldn't she have been yelling? Like, was she? Because there's a difference between like rage yelling and pain yelling.
There would normally be, yes.
And I guess you're asking if at some point it switched.
It did not. It did not. So you heard nothing more from in there other than the constant boom of lightning and thunder. So the screams devolved to the point where it was just a barrage of lightning and booms, deafening to the point, and that continued on. And at some point, she died. You think maybe she died before the lightning stopped.
Can it be reversed?
Can what be reversed?
The
Asking the mage?
Yes.
No, her soul is gone. Well, everything can be reversed, but I can't.
Why did you do
Why
this?
did you want this to fail? Because clearly you arranged for this to happen regardless as to if we were here or not. What does this serve the cult? I'm just calling him straight out right now.
Yeah, he's like, the giants could have quelled the storm.
And because they could have quelled the storm, could have possibly maybe. Oh my god.
What's causing the storm?
And as you ask that question, the cultist looks just terrified. And he says, I don't want to know.
Sight?
He is in a circle of truth. He does not want to know what's causing this storm.
Does whatever's causing the storm have to do with the cult of like your side of things?
I don't know. And he seems like he's a little smug that he can answer honestly that.
Why are you so afraid of it then?
Queen is coming. Everyone should be afraid. Everyone should find their place at her side or under her claws.
Are there any more with you among this group? Any more with the cult?
How long does that stuff affect people when they breathe it in or whatever?
I don't know the exact nature of the enraging incense. Lasts long enough. very few survive, usually only one of a group that is given to. And they do not normally last long. And this interview is going to go on for a little bit. You will ferret out that there are actually 5 cultists among their number. The 2 merchants that were in the lead were not among them, and seem to have set out with, air quotes, noble intent to quell the storm so that Amish trade could resume. They didn't seem to care much about what happened to the others. The boat, untended, sinks slowly beneath the water, leaving you with your boat and a number of people. They could all fit, but are you taking them with you, or what is happening?
How deep is it here?
You're in the middle of the ocean. It goes down. This is the
is
top
this
of a mountain.
immediately off of a shelf, or like?
This is out in the trackless sea. This is the top of a long ago volcano.
Oh, okay. Yep. So
It goes out and then down.
Water breathing, reverse gravity. Quite know how reverse gravity underwater work, but pretty certain I could boat back up. Might just be easier to put them on our boat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would make... Joey would be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, we're going to have to take these people. We fuck their boat up. I mean, the least we could do is take them back to the mainland. Are we taking the 5 back for interrogation, or are we just dumping them off here?
I mean...
well, they'd best be either arrested or someone... If you just want Ruqiyo to look this way for a little while, he'll be really happy to do so right now.
Well, they need to be brought to justice just like everybody else. They could have very good information about the cult, stuff that could help. No, there's no reason to just outright murder them.
Well, I don't know. How about we don't outright murder them, we just refuse to allow their souls to come back on a revivify?
I understand what you're saying. What they did was absolutely terrible. But they clearly have the ability to do far worse. Or that bad thing to far more people, and that's more important right now than our revenge.
A few things. I'm gonna ask what killed this one, since there are new wounds.
That's
Sure.
Actually a really good point, because where is whatever caused those wounds?
Like, if there's something invisible, would Dawn have seen it wandering around?
If there was something invisible, Dawn could have seen it wandering around if Dawn had invisible eyes on.
Well, detect magic. Would
Only
that
what
pick that up?
things you see.
Invisible things don't detect.
Okay.
Ruqiyo
Yes.
can see invisible, though.
Ruqiyo could see invisible.
I was gonna say, I don't think
so
I do just in general.
The
If you want
wounds.
to turn your third eye on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
that thing. I
wounds
still have that.
as you inspect the body, and look about for things that could cause it, the daggers that the cultists bear seem to match the wounds. They could have been inflicted by a similar dagger, though none of the cultists or people that you've found have bloodied their daggers.
Do they know if there was another operative here?
And they sort of look around and they do a head count. We are missing 3.
I'm going to use my channel divinity to bring Ruqiyo up to half.
Okay.
And then I'm going to mass cure wounds on everyone who needs it.
And it's just about that time when you feel a little whoosh go past your face, and then a paf, paf, as a fireball erupts amongst you. A second and a third follow. The devastation is immense. The crew, the cultists, and one or two of you fall down. You recover, but you do not see your attackers, and it was cast from quite a ways away.
No loose ends.
You're left with the bodies of the giants, the bodies of the crew, and yourselves. Ruqiyo, I'm going to say you probably fell down and stood back up again. You seem the type. Other than that, you recover, but you hear calling from the ship, I would like to leave now. As Kasey looks out at the devastation, at the ship that is sunk, and at the storm that has been closing in more and more as it rages, the little Isle of Calm has grown smaller and smaller since the death of the giants.
Valandra is going to attempt to cast Divine Intervention to allow the giants to be revived.
You know the gods can't help with that.
If the gods can't...
He said it
Fix
could
this
be
thing.
reversed.
Yeah.
That
if-
is
if even the
true.
gods can't do it.
So people do things that the gods can't do all the time. That's why the gods have people. But you would be aware that if a god-powered restoration doesn't work, then the god can't superpower their restoration. The soul is unable or unwilling to return to the body.
In which case, then this becomes a cleanup. Someone here is clearly framing us. Well, I don't know that it's technically framing, since
We did not
two
kill
of the
them.
three
We knocked them out. Didn't
We-
kill them.
thought we knocked them out. We can't be sure that we were not also affected. So it is physically possible that two of these three were accidentally our fault. Possibly not.
Well, that depends on how much we trust each other, I suppose.
I think we can prove that we aren't affected because you died, Ruqiyo, and then you came back when we revivified you.
That's true. Ruqiyo did
Wait.
revivify correctly.
That just means that I wasn't the target of whatever it is that they did.
Well, you're...
It does clearly
you were
say
bre-
that it wasn't
we
an
were-
area
we were-
effect, though.
We were all in the same area, breathing it all in. You walked up to one of the braziers yourself, directly put it out.
No,
You smelled it. You
the
huffed
braziers
it
are
in.
not connected to revivify effect.
So, from the boat, you hear again, we need to go now. This storm is going to hit. It's time to leave. Let's go. And Kasey's like, I don't want to leave without you, but look, mission accomplished. Come on.
Is there anything of value to quickly pick up from
Oh,
the remains of the
Jesus.
stuff?
Chloe is
there's
gonna
tons.
roll her eyes at that and just...
Yeah, there's quite a bit of value, including three sticks of rage incense.
Dawn's
Of-
going to take the incense,
Okay.
possibly experiment with it.
Chloe's gonna leave a note and try and just, like, not bury them, obviously, but, like, just try and make it so it's less savage looking and just leave a note that basically says, so sorry, we found out that this was the work of the Cult of the Dragon. They will pay, or something like that, and not sign it.
Let's just frame the dragon. Yeah.
What?
Let's just
Like
frame
hit-
the
It's like Chloe hit somebody in the parking lot. She just leaving a note.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm
So-
not looting their car to lace.
This was the
Hey,
cult of the dragon.
You know what? This is Amish shit. all's fucking fair.
I assume
That-
everybody died besides us, yes?
Everybody died besides you, yes.
Cool,
Nobody
yeah.
had that level of hit points left.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, like, is there, like, gold or anything here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a loot list. And it looks as though this was a king's ransom gathered by merchants to try and appease the giants, and the cult had other plans.
Out of curiosity, does purity of body do anything against this region?
What is purity of body? Remind me.
Immune to
I gotta look
poison.
it up.
You are immune to poison, so you would not be affected if this were a poison. This is not a poison.
Darn, okay.
It is a magical curse.
But that can't be removed by remove curse. You said that earlier.
A remove curse would not stop the raging. A remove curse would break the curse on the item, but not stop the raging.
But they've said multiple times that this curse thing, like, usually lasts as long as it needs to, aka until one person kills everybody else. And none of us
Until
have
there's
been...
one standing.
Yeah, and none of us have been, harmful towards each other. I mean, for God's sake, I revivified you, and Valandra's been healing left and right. I mean,
yes.
we aren't affected. This isn't
yes,
us.
it seems like it's a combination of both the curse, it being applied, so basically the 3 giantesses were the ones cursed, then the effects of the incense driving them berserk, then they're there. So it is a kind of a cursed single-use item that was applied to the giantesses. It's still an irritant to everyone else because it's literally an irritant. But, so, as you board the ship, I think, loot in hand,
Definitely.
note left behind.
Ruqiyo, if you could see invisible people, make sure they're not on the boat with us.
Tap, tap.
Yep. You begin inspecting around. You don't see any invisible people.
Looking
as
over
you
the
normally
side.
would. You certainly look over the sides. You suspect that any assassin or cleanup crew of the level that could cast fireball while remaining invisible would probably have an out other than being on board the boat.
Makes
And
sense. They were
enough-
also cast from a long ways away.
They were cast
said
from a
so.
distance. Still being on the island but remaining invisible, the fireball being the first thing there. With that, you leave behind the scene of death and the note pleasantly explaining it.
Just,
Are you reporting this to anyone?
just to be clear, on that vein of reporting, like, the cult members that had the daggers, did you say that those daggers had some of the stuff on them, or were
They
linked
did
to
not.
the
They
cult
looked
in any
clean.
way?
Well, they're dragon-tooth daggers, which
Okay.
are popular among the cult, but dragon-tooth daggers are now in amongst the normal populace because of people killing cultists, taking their stuff, reselling it instead of responsibly destroying it, and so on.
Okay. Chloe just would have been looking, like, with everybody, all the witnesses or whatever dying, she would have been looking for any kind of thing to prove that the cult was here at all. So she'll take those daggers and just hope that that helps. If there's any
Sure.
emblems that weren't burnt to a crisp or anything.
You got it. You gather up some information.
Can scarring be used on past events?
No.
No, there are some things that allow past events to be seen.
Like, there's legend lore, but that's, like, big important thing.
That is a big important thing. There are some other tricks that do allow things as simple as speak with dead, but it seems like a lot of these dead can't be called back to speak with, at least not the key ones. So we'll leave that mystery behind for the moment. And I'll say congratulations. Everyone, please advance yourself to the next level. And choose wisely, for this will be the last level advancement. So I hope you got to test out your powers and decide which ones were keepers and which ones were changing in.
Yay!
Yay! It's kind of a
Bittersweet.
gloomy, gloomy, bittersweet ride back. And I will ask again, your mission, as you understood it, was to take out the storm giants. You've done that successfully. On
But
your
that was
ride
also
back,
under the impression that they were causing the storms.
that is true.
Apparently that's not the case.
I didn't understand that as the mission exactly. Like,
Sure.
take out the storm giants, and more like make the storm stop happening, was what Kuhloe heard.
And on that note, about a day into the journey, the storms abate. The storms die out, and the fleet is able to sail.
Kuhloe's completely confused.
That seems. Are they sure they want to, since we know that the storm giants weren't making that? It could be a trap.
Could be. Are you telling your fleet, and you have message and sending and such things, are you telling the fleet not to sail?
Oh boy. I don't know if I'm responsible enough to have that decision, but that is definitely Ruqiyo's concern, and he's bringing it to the adult party.
So, adults of the party, the Lord's Alliance and the Council of Dragons look to you. To their knowledge, right now, you know they thought the storm giants were responsible. You went out. The storms have stopped. What are you telling them happened?
Can we move the rendezvous point? We
Uh,
have instantaneous message. Just tell them to, hey, don't go A, go plan B.
So the storms were raging up and down the coast. Basically, any attempt to sail was being rebuffed,
Yeah.
which is why the was concerned. Their boats were being affected too. The storms have now died off to the point that all the storms just seem like the normal kind of storms. We can sail in this. You can certainly tell them to point A, point B instead, but once they're on the open water, if a storm giant was angry, they could be in trouble. But no storm giants appear angry today.
I mean, I guess in Kuhloe's 2 cents to Ruqiyo in terms of like gathering words for a message would just be, I would let them know that we took care of what we thought was the issue at hand. Like, we took care of the incessant storms and it looks clear, but there seems to be unrest among the storm giants, and to just, I mean, there's risk whenever you sail on the seas no matter what. They've got to know that, but just tell them to be on the lookout for, unrest among the storm giants continuing, but for now, sail fast. I mean, I don't know what else to say to them.
Sure.
I don't know what else we could do.
I guess it's not our decision on what they do with their troops, but
Oh, they are eager to sail. The only reason they were not sailing was because of the obviously controlled storms that were being arranged against them. These controlled storms have stopped, and so they're like, "Thank you, we'll be underway." And when you're like, "Well, be careful," I'm like, "We're sailors. We do this thing."
okay. I just don't want all of the hard work we got to get these people in there and then to have them die at sea. Like, they may be sailors, but the source of the magical storms that you were very concerned with when you could see them has not been changed.
So you are revealing that to them?
Yes.
I don't see why we wouldn't reveal that, to just let them know, like, hey, we didn't stop it instantaneously. It just stopped itself.
Yeah, it stopped on its own.
Yeah.
So be suspicious, but it's clear right now.
We need to explain that to them because if
Yeah,
they need to realize that they had some sort of faulty information. Where did that information come from?
yes. Because they might be being fed the same way that the merchants were being fed misinformation.
Okay.
But yes, you're all completely right, and it's just not conscionable to not let them know that info was wrong. We didn't turn off the storms. So
Okay. Got it.
Stay within sight of shore? I don't know.
Yeah, well, they can't really do that. They've got to cross from the Isles to the coast, and that's a stretch of water there. But good news to that effect. The Navy crosses with only the normal amount of mishap, so you will have those additional troops from the Isles available to you. So going into the next sequences, the party has available to them the flights of the metallic dragons, the naval forces that have been brought in, the Yuan-Ti supporters that they won, as well as the main body, which is comprised of Lord's Alliance, Order of the Gauntlet, and so on. So they do have resources available to them that they will be augmenting as they make the approach on the Temple of the Cultists. And that's kind of where we'll start off with some mild war planning next week, and then getting into the deployment and some of the action there. The time is running short. Armies are on the move. There will be, let's say there's going to be 20 days between you making landfall and when the combat is expected to start. For most of that, troops are on the move. You're solving problems, dealing with interruptions and keeping tempers in check as various lords and such are forced into company. If there's anything you wish to do in those 20 days, please let me know, and we'll pick back up and run from there. Same bat time, same bat channel next week.
Woo!
Cool.
Yay! And congratulations. You dealt with the giants quite well. And I do apologize for the little bit of railroading there at the end, but yes, there were the 3 assassins to make sure no witnesses remained. Jerks. But that went well. And for anybody who happened to recognize the giants' tokens and names, I just felt like throwing that in there.
I don't think I was even close enough to see the tokens.
The events that just took place are the yes, the events that just took place are the kickstart to Storm King's Thunder. So congratulations, you are legend.
Yay, level 14.